Probably didn't have much to say about Nick Johnson. He had a 2 RBI homer that won a game. Bill Hall wasn't even in the scouting report. He's delivered a home run in this series as well. For the Orioles, their scouting report on themselves. Stay focused. You've got a chance at a sweep. It's the Orioles on Masson and a glorious Sunday, Mother's Day, here at Camden Yards to wrap up this series. The Rays and the Orioles, you can't find a finer hat, and all the moms arriving here today are taking one home. And they're going to take the kids home, too. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome, and a very happy Mother's Day to you. For the Orioles, this stretch of wins goes on. About 2 weeks ago, a lot of Oriole fans were taking a look at the schedule and going, wait a minute, look at what's coming up for the Orioles. They've got a stand of 15 games. Can they possibly get through it with these teams? Well, let's take a look at what they've done so far. They've got today's game, 2 against the Yankees left in that stretch. So far, they're 8-4. Batting average .242. The home run's phenomenal in 24. They're averaging 5 runs a game and a real good ERA. They've made 26 roster moves since April 30 when this 15-game stretch began. A series against New York opened it up 2-1. The start is impressive. Against the Red Sox, those unbelievable games with Chris Davis coming on to pitch and getting a win, they swept them. The Rangers, the team that did damage in that, with Hamilton getting 6 home runs in the series, only 1-3 for the Orioles, and then Tampa Bay, a chance to sweep with the bullpen, having retired all 19 batters faced so far. So the Orioles, in the stretch of games that everyone said, I'm not sure of, so far the Orioles have found a way to do pretty well.
And it's actually a continuation of what most people thought in September last year. They go, you know, the Orioles, they won 69 games last year. They may only win 4 or 5 games. They won 15-13, really tough schedule, got the Red Sox out of there. But to me, Gary, the one number up there, giving 5 runs a game, only giving up 3.71. We haven't seen the Orioles in 14 years. The 14 years they haven't won, had more games of winning than losing, where they've been able to do that. So the run differential, they're scoring more, they're winning the close games, as we've seen in the 2-game series against the Rays, and that's all the difference.
And worth noting, there was a walk-up yesterday of some 5,000 for the ball game, and even more, maybe around 7,000 expected to walk up today. The Oriole fans, after all the years of watching and waiting, starting to believe, coming out to see what this team looks like.
Well, they're starting to believe the same way the Orioles are believing. You know, you talked about all the roster moves. To me, it's kind of, you got a new general manager. Everybody's wondering who it's going to be. Well, it's Dan Duquette. The last time the Red Sox, when they first started winning in 2004, Dan had kind of put that club together. I know Theo Epstein got a lot of the credit, as he deserved, but Dan got a lot of guys. So when you have to make roster moves and you have to go to Norfolk, we saw it with Billy Hall, you have some guys that can come up here. Hopefully today it's going to be Xavier Avier, who's leading off for the Orioles. So, again, the deep depth of the Orioles is paying off because they've had some injuries. They haven't played at full strength, but they're still winning baseball games.
Now, the changes that were made today with Avery coming up and will be leading off for the Orioles in the lineup. Pomerantz has gone out of the bullpen. He's been sent back down again, at least officially. So the Orioles are going to be a little short in the bullpen again, Jim, because as far as Buck Showalter is concerned, while Avery's present and able to go today, he does not want to have to use Jim Johnson again today, the Orioles closer, or Pedro Strop, if he can avoid it. So that's a little short in the pen.
So Jake Arrieta, there you go. He's got to do what he did in New York. Probably pitched as well a game as he's ever, as good a game as I've ever seen him. Did struggle in his last game. It was against Texas. So with Longoria out, with Jennings out, I don't think you take anything for granted when you're pitching against James Shields, but if he can get in the 7th, 8th inning, then you can still do what you want to do if you're Buck Showalter, with, again, getting through the back end of your bullpen. And
what the Orioles have been able to do throughout this stand and throughout the season is be an advantageous ball club. When somebody gives them a break, as the Rays did yesterday with 5 errors, 3 unearned runs, the Orioles are right there to jump on it. Today, they'd like to make their own breaks. So on this Mother's Day Sunday afternoon, settle back as we get set to go, see whether or not under those hats there's another W for the O's. Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Lots of sunshine here at Camden Yards and in downtown Baltimore. Take a look at our train game time temperature this afternoon. It is at 81 degrees. And to start, just some high wispy clouds moving around. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Here's the starting lineup for Joe Madden's Rays, brought to you by Dodge. It'll be Zobrist, Upton, and Joyce, Scott, Pena, Keppinger, Grimes, Jimenez, and Johnson. Those are the numbers for Pena, struggling right now. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
Take a look at our scouting report here on Mother's Day, and we certainly wish all the moms a happy Mother's Day. Well, Big Game Hunting, the nickname for James Shield, we'll get into it later, is James Big Game Shield. So get the gun out. Scarcity of support last year, about 6.85 runs a game. This year, the 10th lowest, 3.63. So almost a little less than almost half the run supported. And in Ray Vision, he's pitched well, coming off 3 quality starts. There's his record on the year, 2-1, lifetime with a low ERA at 3.70 against the Rays. So we've seen Jake be about as good as you can be. Did that up in New York. His first game against the Twins on opening day. There are the numbers. You can see the lefties have hit the home runs, at least so far. Hamilton got 2 in his last game. Of course, he's homering off everybody. But Jake, he's healthy. Again, he's got really 3 good pitches and a 4th slider that he likes sometimes, falls in love with, but great fastball.
And he's been called out by his manager that he's no longer a young pitcher. He's 26 years old, which for most of us is very, very young. But as Buck Showalter says, it's time. And so he's really challenged Arrieta to be able to go deep into ball games, to be effective, to be a real quality starter on this Orioles staff, and to have consistent outings. Jake has tended to have 3 or 4 innings that are real good, and then all of a sudden things kind of fall apart in one inning. See how it goes today. Orioles go for the sweep. Zobrist up, pitches away, and we are underway. Ben Zobrist hitting just 198. He has an 0 for 5 in this series and an 0 for 5 lifetime against Jake Arrieta. 1-0 pitch, and that will be taken. And Zobrist begins, as he always does, by getting ahead on the count.
Well, he forces you to throw it over. And again, not having a vintage year, usually hits around 20 or more home runs. And right there's another ball. He knows what he wants to hit.
He leads the American League in free passes, 28, second in the majors behind Joey Votto. At 198 average is the 6th lowest in the American League. How can a guy with the 6th lowest average in the league continue to draw the most walks?
Well, because
you've got to throw strikes to him.
Well, you're right, and you try to do it, but he doesn't swing at balls. So,
yeah.
And I think Jake certainly knows that. And again, there's 5 pitches, 4. I don't know. It's almost like he's unnerving. And,
it is.
And the other factor is, until a guy would prove it, against right-handed pitching, and he came in with 4 home runs, 3 against right-handers, he does have a little bit of pop.
Yeah,
but again, at the end of the day, hey, this is what pitching's all about. Fastball outside half. They can put the ball in play, but he doesn't expand very often.
Here is Upton. B.J. Upton, a 1 for 7 in this series. He shows bunt, and the pitch will be taken away for a ball. Jake Arrieta coming in with 10 walks, 36 strikeouts in 44 innings. And has a 2-1 mark against Tampa Bay. This is his 5th career start against the Rays. ERA of 3.7 against Tampa Bay. Zobrist on at first, and the 1-0 delivery, and he meant it, and he will foul it off going for the base hit. Got Ryan Flaherty making the start at third base for the Orioles, and he has played very well there. Has also made starts in left field, getting moved around, but as he said this morning, is my name in the lineup? All I need to know, the number doesn't matter.
Well, he can play anywhere. And again, a Rule 5 guy that looks like he has a lot of tools. He can help you in a lot of ways.
Whoa, 1-1, we'll have to wait.
Well, the other thing that Zobrist does is that, and we'll see how the Rays, who, again, with Longoria, Jennings out of the lineup, how they'll play it. The one thing about Ben Zobrist, he can steal bases. Now, you'd have one of the better throwing catchers in baseball behind the plate, and Arrieta quick to the plate, and again, very aware. But this kind of changes the rhythm of the first inning by walking Zobrist.
Wanted that nice quick inning to get the ball game started, and that already hasn't happened. Not just number of pitches, which are just 7, but the fact that he's having to throw over, work out of the stretch, and really work here against Upton. 1-1 count. Runner not going. Upton on a swing and a miss, and a pitch away from it, and a good one. 1-2.
Take a look again. I mean, power curveball. This is a slider at 88. So the fastball 93, 95. That was a good slider. He has a tendency every once in a while the slider gets flat, but that one's thrown perfectly.
And the 1-2 delivery, and Upton's gone. Came right back and tied him up with a heater.
Well, he doesn't get any better than the last 2 pitches. And that's just knee high on the outside corner. To me, that's what Arrieta does best. You talked about Buck Showalter saying, hey, give us quality innings, go deep into the game. That's his best pitch.
And for Upton, he continues to struggle. That's the 8th strikeout he's had in the last 19 at bats. He's had only a couple of hits, 2 for 19 during that stretch. Here's Joyce sitting in the 3rd spot, primarily because he is 3 for 7 with a home run lifetime off Jake Arrieta. He's getting the start today in left field. Runner at first. They put the big shift on against him. Arrieta comes in with a strike. This team in the first 2 games, the Rays against the Orioles, are hitting 188. They have scored 6 runs on 12 hits and 1 home run, but a batting average of 188 through the first 2 games against the Orioles. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that ball's in the hole right through the setup. Markakis coming on to get it. It slows down. Going to third is Zobrist. So a single for Joyce, first and third with 1 away.
Yeah, Matt Joyce hit it where the defense isn't. Avery, his first game in the big leagues. Jones, Markakis, that's the Orioles outfield. Flaherty moves to third. Hardy, Andino, Chris Davis back in the lineup, and the Gold Glover Matt Wieters after being the DH last night doing the catching.
And as has happened here in this series, there is Avery in the outfield. He had 6 starts in left for Norfolk this year. The other 27 starts came in center field, made only 1 error. 20 total chances in left, 1 error, 54 total chances in center. So Avery's out there in left field for the Orioles.
Yeah, this is probably the most difficult field to play here at Camden Yards because it's the biggest area. But he's got great speed.
Luke Scott, seems as though every time he's come to the plate in this series, the former Oriole has come up in a key situation, and he does so here in the first inning. He's got a 4-game hit streak, 2 for 7 with a couple of home runs, with a couple of RBIs rather, in this series against the Orioles. The designated hitter. Zobrist on at third base and Joyce on at first. Arrieta's delivery to him, and that'll be fouled away. Luke's one of the best in the American League in the DH role, up among the top 5 in home runs and RBIs. And the RBIs against the American League East, Josh Hamilton, who doesn't even play in the East, 26 of them, and then Luke at 17. Cabrera, Pena, Adam Jones right up there with 13, tied with Swisher. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, you can drive them in, and the one thing, I mean, you've seen Luke because you were a teammate. There's a good changeup, but it's just out of the zone. Luke gets a pretty good idea when he's hot. Got a fastball up the middle yesterday off of Brian Mattis for 2 RBIs. So you can see the numbers pretty good. You'd like to think if you could reverse the counts, which you can't, that maybe you could strike him out. 21 strikeouts in 100 at bats.
Setting 302 off the right-handers this year, only 162 off lefties. 2 ball, 1 strikeout, and a big cut on a pitch up letter high. He loves to hit the high fastball, and the count goes to 2-2.
So this is the good slider. Watch this ball again. It goes down. It appears the good slider that's going to be a fastball, and if you get on top of it, which is what he did there, and then what he did to Upton. Watch the ball, the late break. And he swings right over it.
Arrieta looking for either the strikeout or the double play. The Orioles have the shift on. Of course, holding first is Davis here against Joyce. 2 ball, 2 strike count, runners off first and third. Scott is gone on an off-speed delivery. Arrieta gets his second strikeout.
Well, there's the power hook. Everybody raves about it. Scott's come in here. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. You think out of your hand it's a fastball and watch it dive. I always say the yellow hammer, the curveball that falls off the table. Imagine a ball just going across the table and straight down. That's what that hook did.
Great pitch. Here is Pena, another player struggling, hitting .083 in the month of May. He is 3 for his last 36 at the plate. He too has been picking up the walks. He is 4th in the league with 24 walks, but it has been a really tough month. 13 strikeouts so far this month, along with the low average. But Pena does have power. Against Arrieta, he's 1 for 3. Oriole fans are in it early. Zobrist off third base, Joyce off first.
Yeah, you look at the numbers, the 3 for 33, one hit in the last 9 games, but he uses the whole field. There's another good curveball. And again, I mean, most of his hits, because he's a pull hitter, 11 of them to right, 8 up the middle, 8 to left.
With all these players struggling and Longoria injured and not playing, the offense obviously has had its problems. The Rays are 9th in average coming into the ball game, still 7th in runs despite all the injuries and struggles. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that's in there for a strike. Arrieta attacking the strike zone now, and it goes to 0-2.
Yeah, this again, the stuff after the first hitter, Zobrist, even though he gave up the ground ball hit to Joyce, is pretty much what you expect. 93 to 95, a power curveball, and again a darting slider. 3 above average. They call them plus pitches.
Pink bat, Mother's Day. Here's the delivery, fouled right straight back, and the count will stay at 2 strikes on Carlos Pena. The Orioles, of course, the Oriole fans probably know now, looking for a sweep here in this series. They've not had one against the Rays in Baltimore since July of 2007. They did sweep a 3-game series against the Rays in Tampa, St. Petersburg last April. 0-2 count. Arrieta trying to get out of it. And he does. He strikes the side out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. We'll check the Orioles lineup with Avery in it in a minute. Bay leaves a couple on in the first inning. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Avery, Hardy, and Marquez, Jones, Wieters, and Johnson, Davis, Sandino, and Flaherty. This season 4, Nick, 6 home runs, 15 RBIs with that average.
And our scouting report on James Shield, live up to your nickname. And again, it's James Big Name Shields. Big Game Shields, excuse me. Yard work. He loves pitching here at Camden Yards. 5-1, 3.85 ERA, real low earned run average. And he is the real deal. He won 16 games last year, third in the Cy Young voting. Again, 4 shutouts, low ERA. And again, he's very durable. 5 straight years of it, 200 or more innings.
Well, he got that nickname.
He gave it to himself.
I know.
That's the. I went over and talked to Brian Anderson, who does the color and Dwayne stats, and I said, who gave him that nickname? Because he did.
And as I said to you, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, right.
Here's Xavier Avery. Recalled today, only 22 years old. He was a second-round pick in 08, fifth-year pro ball. Had been on a tear at AAA. Hitting .273, 5 homers, 16 RBIs, 33 games with the Tides. He comes here having hit safely in 8 of the last 9, including multi-hit ball games along the way. And his number matches the day that he gets the opportunity to get a start here with the Orioles. Number 13 on May 13.
Yeah, other than in spring training, he's never seen anybody like James Shields.
He will take the pitch away.
Back-to-back changeups, cutter, 2-seam fastball, big overhand curveball, 13 pickoffs. This guy is a complete pitcher, and he's going to make you be able to cover both sides of the plate.
And to second base, one hopper to Rhymes. And Avery is retired.
Take a look at the Rays defense. They're trying to forget last night when they made 5 errors. Joyce, Upton, Zobrist, Keppinger, Johnson, Rhymes, Carlos Pena back in the lineup over at first base. Good fielding first baseman. Jimenez doing the catching for back-to-back nights.
5 errors last night, tied the most ever in Rays history. They've committed 28 errors now, the 5th most in the majors, after having committed the fewest in the majors last year at 73. I mean, kind of inexplicable. Combined with the Orioles' 2 errors last night, that 7-error game is the highest number of errors in a ball game the Rays have ever played in. Here is J.J. Hardy. Hardy 1 for 8 so far in the series. Shields, who likes to rock and roll, getting the ball back and throwing, will miss down low with that, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Hardy hitting at .232. AJ's had a really good month of May after a tough April. That slider away is swung on and missed.
And it's a good one. So he's got the 2-seamer. He'll run in on your fist if you're right-handed. A change-up, he'll throw in any count. Curveball, and then, as you just said, Gary, that slider that darts away and into the lefties.
2-ball, 2-strike count to Hardy. And that's inside. Hardy hitting .314 in May. He has picked up 5 home runs. He leads the Orioles in average and in homers this month. Only Nick Johnson, with a limited number at bats, has a higher average at .412. Nick's gone 7 for 17 this month. 3-2, came inside and walked it. 16 walks in 48 innings this season for Shields, including that one.
Well, you like to have these kind of breaks because, number one, he doesn't usually do that. Number two, it opens up a hole into right field for Nick Markakis, who's going to come to the plate. So little things. And again, when you're trying to beat a guy like James Shields, you don't run very much. The Orioles don't run. Maybe Avery will run a little bit because he holds 13 pickoffs. But again, you can open up a hole, maybe get a first and third, maybe get a run without getting a base hit. And that's how you score runs against guys like Shields.
Nick Markakis has hit Shields pretty well. Takes the pitch inside, hitting .288 lifetime with 2 home runs off Shields. He and the on-deck batter Adam Jones both have good numbers lifetime against Shields. Markakis 2 for 6, a homer and 1 RBI in this series against the Rays. Do not get far off the bag at first base when Shields is pitching. He will pick you off. And the pitch is taken down low. This team's very good at holding runners. Jimenez, the catcher's thrown out 3 of 13. Shields with that big scoop look over to first. Very short lead. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and that is on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, I was talking to Nick Markakis about James Shield. He said, well, he came up and he had a lot of success. Then the league caught up a little bit. 2 years ago, he went 13 and 15. And then what he did was he worked a little workout program, came up with a cutter, always had the curveball, changeup, and fastball. Just made himself into a better pitcher.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Artie off first base, and Markakis will fight that off, and the count will go to 2-2. The numbers on Shields, as you would expect, pretty astronomical. That 5-1 mark on the positive side. With runners on base, teams are hitting only 176 against him, and that is the 6th lowest average in the American League by any pitcher with runners on. He doesn't give much up, and his ground balls predominance at 72% of outs have been recorded on ground balls this year. 2-2 delivery. Markakis swings through it.
I mean, how does he get to the strikeout? Cutters in, and then goes away. So the cut fastball, and he just puts a little extra on it and goes to the other side of the plate, the other quadrant, that up high and away, and then just able to throw it by Nick. Can't quite catch up to it.
See the lowest on base average with runners on base: Morrow, Alvarez, Vargas, Jeremy Hellickson of Tampa Bay, Jake Peavy, and then Shields. And that's not given up very much by those pitchers when somebody gets on.
And 4 of them in the American League East.
Here is Adam Jones. And Jones will take the pitch away for a ball. 4-game hit streak for Adam, including a 3 for 8 in this series with a home run and 3 RBIs.
Yeah, when we talk about James Shields, all the home runs, 7 of them coming to left-handed batters.
The average, the righties have it. The home runs, the lefties have it. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That'll be pounded foul. And 1 ball, 1 strike count on Jones. Told you Adam with the big numbers. 387 lifetime off Shields with a home run. The best in the Orioles lineup today against James Shields. Sun-drenched crowd here at Camden Yards, seeing if the Orioles can pick up a sweep. The Orioles, of course, have won the series. They are now 8-3 in their series this year. 1 ball, 1 strike count. O's up by 2 in first place in the East over Tampa Bay. Third, going to be a tough play. Keppinger goes to second and will get the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Each team gets a runner on in the first, but can't push him around. Presented by Luna. Arrieta will try and make it a little easier than the first, but he did pick up 3 strikeouts in that inning. Upton, Scott, and Pena. Call for the Luna double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241 Luna.
And that's how he did it. 2 of the strikeouts, Upton and Scott, on fastballs. Of course, he set them up, and then he was able to strike out Pena on a fastball. So, and then he got Luke Scott on the big sky hook.
I want to welcome all the fans watching on WJZ today. Great to have you on board on our Sunday afternoon ball game. Here's Keppinger. He hits the first one up the middle. He's got a base hit. Keppinger's second hit of the series in 8 at-bats, and the leadoff man has been on each of the first 2 innings. Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant of our game, Gary Hopkins. Great first name. Gary's already won $500 for being selected, and he'll get $100 more for every Orioles strikeout from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn non-winning Strike It Rich scratch-offs into cash. Enter to win great Orioles prizes. MDLottery.com/strikeItRich. Good luck, Gary.
Oh, he's already struck out the side in the first. He's rooted for about 14 strikeouts today for Jake Arrieta.
This could be your lucky day.
And Jake saying, I really don't want to throw any more balls in the middle of the plate to Jeff Keppinger.
Good idea. Here's Rhymes.
I know he likes it in the middle of the plate, and I've only watched him hit 2 games.
Will Rhymes 0 for 3 in the series, 0 for his last 12. Rhymes getting the start at second base. Left-handers 250 off Arrieta. Right-handers 203. So he's going to get some left-handers in this lineup today to face. Keppinger off first base. That ball will be popped up in the air. Coming over is Avery.
Yeah, he did not get a good jump, and then again got exceptional speed. You know, one of those days, ball coming out of the orange hats, white shirts,
blue sky,
and he's playing in a new stadium for the first time.
Big day for.
Yep. So the background Avery. A little bit different.
Because we seem to be saying that every day about some Oriole player in the lineup.
Yes,
amazing.
Stu Pomerantz comes in. Of course, he's only here for a couple of days, but really showed the Orioles quality arm. You see why he was doing so well at AA and AAA.
And this is Avery's major league debut, remember. Here is Jimenez doing the catching, 1 for 2 in the series. Arrieta's pitch to him will be taken away in a 1-0 count. You may hear a female voice coming from the PA system today on Mother's Day. Adrienne Roberson. She is here from the Bay Sox, where she is the public address announcer. And she is working on this Mother's Day, and for her, a first in a major league debut. She has been the voice of the Bay Sox public address system for the past 8 seasons. It's great to have her on board here on this Mom's Day, as she will call the game here at the ballpark, PA-wise. 2-0 delivery. Jimenez will take the pitch inside, and the count goes to 3-0. Oh, Arrieta certainly doesn't want that pitch count to get run up. It's at 26 with 1 down here in the second inning. Keppinger with a short lead at first base. And the pitch taken, and it'll be in there for a strike. So the Orioles come into the ball game with a 2-game lead over this Tampa Bay team. The Yankees and Red Sox are starting to make their move. Yankees have won 3 in a row. They are 2.5 out. Boston's won 2 in a row. They're still in last place, and Toronto just keeps playing good ball. They're 3 games behind, 19 and 15. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Grounded down to third, and that's a foul ball. Orioles get the Yankees for 2 games to round out this homestand. Coming in tomorrow night, it'll be Jason Hamill against Ivan Nova. Wei-Yin Chen and CC Sabathia are scheduled to go on Tuesday night. And then the Orioles will be on the road at Kansas City. 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, only 2 games in KC, and then the interleague starts, and it doesn't get easy when you're playing the Nationals.
Runner goes. Throw down. That's a walk. Did he go? No.
Well, it's a great slider, except it's off the plate, and then it's a very nice take by Jimenez, because most guys would swing through that, but apparently he was able to pick it up, or he just got fooled. Couldn't even offer.
That's an interesting situation. Wieters had to play that because he wanted to say he'd swung. So with the runner going, Wieters was looking for a strike him out, throw him out,
which they would have had.
And the runner thinks that's a ball, so he doesn't even run, really. He just stood up going into second. But a good heads up play by Matt just in case. So there are 2 on, 1 away. Here's Elliott Johnson, number 9 hitter, the shortstop. Johnson bounces. That's going to be a base hit into the hole. Making the turn, Keppinger. Markakis is going to throw it all the way through. And underneath on the slide is Keppinger. Johnson gets the RBI single, and the Rays have a 1-0 lead.
Well, Elliott Johnson up and down the last couple of years, switch hitter. Probably a better second baseman than shortstop, but because of injuries. And again, right here, this will be an extra base because, again, Keppinger gets a good jump. You can see Matt Wieters with a swipe tag, but he's by him. And then with only 1 out, it's a big play that Jimenez, who's a catcher, can get all the way to third base because you don't have to get a base hit to score a run, and they're struggling for runs.
Elliott Johnson gets his 4th RBI of the year. Runners at first and third against Arrieta, and here's Zobrist, top of the order, who will take it for a strike. He drew a walk his first time up. So Tampa Bay drawing first run here in this one. Zobrist looking down to third base with the runner at first. Elliott Johnson having some decent speed.
Yeah, he's stolen 4 out of 4. The interesting thing to me when I watch this inning, you watch Jake Arrieta, you've seen the curveball, you've seen the good velocity, but at the end of the day, at this level, it's about making quality pitches. So when he does that, he gets a lot of outs. When he doesn't, he gives up runs and hits.
He will go to Zobrist away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
All you have to do is go back to Keppinger ball, first pitch right down the middle, singles into center. Then he walks to Jimenez after he gets behind him, and then right there, first pitch, you're trying to find the strike zone. Elliott Johnson's waiting, hits a grounder because he's looking fastball and gets it, something in the middle of the plate, and all of a sudden you're in trouble.
1-1 delivery, rocketed in the air to center field. Jones going back at the warning track, and that's going to hit right off the base of the wall. That'll easily score Jimenez. Good break on the ball, Johnson. Here's the throw coming to the plate. He'll score. A double and 2 RBIs for Ben Zobrist, and a 3-0 lead for the Rays.
So middle-itis for Jake Arrieta here in the second inning, and the Jays, I mean, this is a BB. Again, the ball not coming off the wall, hit low on the wall, so good relay, but just a little bit late because, again, Elliott Johnson can run.
Zobrist has 14 RBIs now. Gets his first hit off Arrieta in 6 at bats. Still only 1 away. And here is Upton, called out on strikes his first time up. And a big swing and a miss. Rays in this series now 6 for 20 with runners in scoring position. They had a couple of chances in the first inning. Couldn't get anything done. They've had 2 chances here, and both times have delivered a hit. Pitch will be taken inside. Dana Eveland available. The Orioles actually have 1 extra starter now, so Eveland, I don't know if he's in the bullpen right now, but he's the long man available for today, with the skipper Buck Showalter having a couple of players he doesn't want to have to pitch today, Johnson and Strop. So Eveland, he was one of the issues about whether or not you'd send Dana Eveland down or not. Instead, you put him in the bullpen with Hamill ready to come back and pitch tomorrow. Upton with a 1-ball, 2-strike count, hitting at .269 on the season, and Upton will take the slider away. 2-2. Tampa Bay coming up with some key hits here early in this ball game that they've not been able to find in the first 2.
And they had their ace on the mound.
2-2 delivery. That one down low, and a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Upton. It's a little tougher that second time through.
Well, they make adjustments, and in this inning, it's pretty much a lot of pitches ending up in the middle of the plate.
3-2 delivery, and swung on and missed. Upton continues to struggle. 2 strikeouts. 4 in the ball game for Arrieta.
Yeah, just a good moving fastball. It just moves enough. Upton over swinging. A lot of guys will cut their swing down with 2 strikes. He's not one of them.
So Joyce will get the RBI chance with 2 away. Joyce delivered a single his first time up. Now 4 for 8 with a home run off Arrieta. Joyce hitting .257 with runners in scoring position. The Orioles put that shift on. And the pitch is down low. Wieters makes the stop on it. Ball 1. Seven out of 12 first pitch strikes so far for Arrieta. Short lead at second for Zobrist. And that breaking ball will miss, and he's working behind the hitters. 2-0.
Yeah, well, he's trying to do anything other than give Matt Joyce a fastball to hit. He hit a fastball into right field in the first time up. And
2-0 delivery by Arrieta. That one's going to be hit high in the air. A lot of sun. And Jones trying to find it. Does. Got the angle on it and puts it away. But a big 3-run second inning. And the Rays lead it 3-0. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union serves the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and the Department of Defense and their families, federally insured by NCUA. And by Hyundai. New Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. Orioles trying to extend their win streak to 3 games. Tampa Bay has lost 3 in a row in 6 of their last 7 games. As we send out greetings to Mom. The Orioles 1-6 in their last 7 Mother's Day ball games. Orioles do have some players who've got the home runs on Mom's Day, though. Chris Davis, Bill Hall, Wilson Betemit, and Nick Johnson all have homered on Mother's Day.
Didn't Bill Hall hit a bunch of home runs with his mom in the stands in Milwaukee? I think it was when they first started wearing using the pink bats. Now they have the shoes, the bats, some players.
Matt Wieters, 1-1 delivery to him. Matt will take the ball in the air to left field. Joyce started in, now backs up and off the top of the wall. And Wieters is going to break an 0 for 12 with a double to start the second.
And Matt Joyce with his hands on his hip. So the 5 errors, this will not be scored an error. Would have been a difficult play because the ball short off the wall, but he's playing deep. He just took a step in. And once he does that, little breaking ball, middle of the plate. And again, there's the end result. But again, he took 2 steps in. Matt Wieters says thank you. That's a double. Orioles need runs. When you talk about the Rays, they've won, well, 14 out of the last 18 starts for Shield, 12 out of the last 15. And there's a number, at least last year, he pitched great. Again, the 3rd in the Cy Young, and they got him a lot of runs.
Here is Nick Johnson. Nick, as we said, he had a home run on Mother's Day back in 2002. He's also had a home run his first of the year, a game winner in this series.
I liked his comment. He said it was the first time I didn't feel like I was hitting with skates on. In other words, he got his legs underneath him.
Orioles are 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this series. Johnson will take the pitch for a strike. Nick, the DH in this game. Talking about Bill Hall, it was the 10th inning in '06. He hit a walk-off home run for the Brewers on Mother's Day with a pink bat. First year the Orioles, first year Major League Baseball had allowed the use of the pink bats. And Bill Hall got it on Mom's Day. And then the owner of the Brewers, Mark Antanasio, bid on the bat. It cost him over $25,000 in an online bid. And got the bat and presented it to Hall's mother, Fergie Hall. And later they even did a bobblehead of Hall with that pink bat. That'll go to second base. Play made by Rhymes. It's a at-bat that'll move Wieters up, though, as he moves over to third base. The Orioles host the Yankees at Camden Yards. 2 brief game series tomorrow, Tuesday. Get your seats now. Discover all the new great features and amenities here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Johnson retired, 1 away. Here is Chris Davis. His Mother's Day home run came in 2009. A little shift put on as he put the shortstop right up the middle. Johnson moves over behind second base. Wieters at third.
Yeah, big opportunity. Not a lot of speed, but they're giving the run other than the ground ball back to Shields for a pop-up or strikeout.
Shields has thrown 3 wild pitches. So Matt Wieters will be aware of that, and he's got the advantage of having Keppinger moved over to short so he can get a real good secondary lead as nobody's there to cover the bag. And that is in there for his strike. 1-1 to Davis.
Yeah, Cress either wants to get a hit, a ball in the air. Shields, of course, he may not know the exact numbers, 32 Ks, 109 at bats, but he's thinking strikeout or pop-up when you're as good as James Shields. But you can see how far everybody's back.
That ball's going to go towards the hole. They were playing him the other way. Long throw. Johnson off the mark. It'll be a base hit and an RBI for Davis. Wieters scores, and it's 3-1.
Well, when you're 2 for 20, you got to come out and make some changes, and that's what Chris Davis did. I mean, he was hot. 10 games, 4 home runs. They tried to stay inside the ball, hit it the other way, which is exactly what he does. It gets the run in. He gets the base hit. He doesn't strike out. Really tough play for Elliott Johnson just to get to it. So there is a perfect example of situational hitting.
And Wieters comes in with the Orioles' first run. Still only 1 away. Andino gets to hit in the 8th spot. Rarely there. 1 or 9 generally. Flaherty gets the 9 hole in this ball game. Andino's had only 1 hit in his last 14 at bats. Average still at .284 in the year. The Orioles early in the ball game get the potential tying run to the plate here in the bottom half of the second inning. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Andino's the roller. Taylor-made. Johnson 1, relay to first, and they turn the double play. Orioles will get a run on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 2 complete on this Mother's Day game. 3-1 Rays. Our new segment in our broadcast, The Life of. Pitching coach Rick Adair of the Orioles and Steve Tollefson, the Orioles infielder, outfielder. They are 2 degrees of separation. Rick Adair's mom, Steve Tollefson's grandmother, are sisters.
I kind of like it the way they put it on the sheet because it totally confuses you.
Yeah, they said it was Tollefson's father's mother. See, once you get that far, I'm gone.
Right.
I'm gone. So I had to regroup and rewrite that. I didn't.
You made sense.
Our experts in the truck did. Well, rarely does that occur, too. 3-1 ball game as we go to the 3rd inning.
Well, again, my stepson being autistic, he loves Spaceballs, Mel Brooks. How about your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate? That's what in Spaceballs they talk about. And then the line goes, and what does that make you? Absolutely nothing. There you go.
And he's right. Luke Scott against the shift. That's the shortstop Hardy cutting in front of the second baseman.
Yeah, if he's any closer, he could have played first, too.
And Luke Scott is retired, 1 away in the 3rd inning.
Well, a good little change up there to get him out. That's what you want. Shutdown inning here for Jake.
Orioles have done real well in the day games so far this season. They are 9-1, 19 home runs, and a very good 3.12 ERA, 13-11 at night. The day games have really made a difference. The offensive numbers are almost exactly the same.
5 runs a game.
But the ERA numbers are better.
Well, they're going to need at least 4 because the Rays are ahead 3-1. And my point about Jake Arrieta, he had a bad second inning. Shut down innings, give your guys a chance. You know, the reason they played well, it's a multi-reason early start for the Orioles, but the other thing is just the starting pitchers, and we talked about it now for 14 years, have given them a chance to win pretty much on a daily basis.
Carlos Pena will take the strike on the inside corner. Pena 0 for 6 in the series, struck out his first time up. He has the distinction at the moment, at least, of having the lowest batting average in the American League for the month of May. Came in hitting .083. Power hitter who struggled to get things turned around. 1 away in the 3rd for Arrieta.
We talked about Chris Davis, Nick Johnson, who started out 0 for 26. Using the whole field, staying inside the ball. They've been telling Carlos Pena since he started. They've got a lot of home runs, but again, in and out of offensive brilliance because the swing is long. He tries to pull. When he's hitting well, left center field. Front shoulder stays closed. You make contact. You trust your hands, and he gets away from that.
1-2 delivery, breaking ball, and that will miss, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count for Jake Arrieta here in his home ballpark. He's 1-2 this year. He had 11 home starts last year and went 5-3, and in his career here at Camden Yards, 8-8 in 24 career starts on this mound. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. Pena will take it inside, and the count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Pena works the count as he does in each at bat. He has the big shift working against him as well. You figure with an average as low as he's got it, it's not going to be much different on the road or at home. Although for this team, it's been a whole lot different. 13-3 at home, 7-11 on the road. And he lifts that one. That's the power. He's got Markakis looking, and that's going to hit off the middle of the wall. Here's the throw coming into second base. Not in time, and Pena picks himself up a 1-out double.
Now, what we found, again, with Jake Arrieta, that the stuff's good, the command isn't. Now he has to throw a strike. It's in the middle of the plate. You think this ball is going out of here, the way he hit it, but it sinks a little bit. And again, nice play by Nick Markakis, but a real hittable pitch, and you're lucky that ball did not go out of here.
And Keppinger will get an RBI chance with a runner on at second, only 1 away. Keppinger had a single scored in the second inning. Elliott Johnson had an RBI. Zobrist had 2 in that 3-run inning. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. So 5 hits, 3 runs on 5 hits so far for the Rays. The Orioles a run on 2 hits, and both pitchers logging some pitches here, trying to get through these innings. Up to 51 for Arrieta. That pitch is going to miss, and again he falls behind 2-0.
Well, you have a contact hitter. Again, only 24 strikeouts, 400 at bats. Did strike out on some what he thought were questionable pitches the first 2 times up last night against Brian Mattis, but he can make contact.
2-0 delivery to him. Keppinger ground ball to short, hit slowly enough for the runner to advance. Hardy will make the play. Keppinger is retired, and there are 2 down. Purchase an Orioles Legend Celebration Series package and lock in your ticket to each of the 5 remaining games honoring the greatest Orioles of all time. At each game, fans are going to get the replica sculpture of that day's honoree. You can order your ticket package now. Also receive a replica Frank Robinson sculpture in case you missed it in April. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/legends. Runner at third base. Here's Rhymes. There are 2 down. Will Rhymes flied out his first time up.
Yeah, you got to be very careful. Bunt base hits, and then also you don't want the ball with a man on third, 2 outs. The infield hit.
Arrieta's had one of the struggles has been with runners in scoring position this year. His opponents came into the game 8 for 26 against him, which is not real high, but high for a runner in scoring position number. You see Pena jockeying around, and that's going to be a base hit. So Rhymes comes through with the RBI single with 2 down, and it is a 4-1 Rays lead.
Again, a situation where they have some nice at bats. Pena runs the count to 3-2, gets a ball in the middle of the plate. Watch where this one is. Just watch from this angle. The ball's up. This is a guy. Will Rhymes is not a strong guy. He's a kind of used to call him fleas, guys that don't hit the ball very hard. So he gets a good pitch. He does what he's supposed to do. Make contact, take your chances, gets himself an RBI.
Second RBI of the year, and this is the 11th game he's played in, and Pena scores. And here's Jimenez, who drew a walk and scored. And the throw over will get him back. Jimenez coming into this game and still only 1 for 19 against right-handers. He got the only hit off Kevin Millwood against Seattle. He's a lifetime 142 hitter off right-handers. 284 off lefties. Runner goes. Throw. No. Andino thought he had him. He had to go back to the bag, though, to try and put the tag on Rhymes.
Yeah, I think the throw's a little bit short. I mean, take a look. I mean, this is what Joe Maddon's pushing the envelope. Not a real big lead. So, again, the throw out in front. See how he has to reach back. Now, you have a couple of options. You can get even with the bag. The throw certainly gets there a lot quicker than your tag. But then he does look like he's out anyway.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay got a break on that call. Runner in scoring position again, and a breaking ball. Jimenez has a 2-strike count. First stolen base for Rhymes, and now 3 for 8 runners in scoring position already in this ball game. Well, that's a lot of chances. We're only in the 3rd inning. They left 2 on in the first, a runner on in the second, scoring 3 runs that inning. They've had 2 runners on this inning, 1 home. Here's the 0-2 delivery in the air to center. Jones. Glare not as bad. Clouds have moved over a bit, and he'll put it away. But a run scores and a couple of hits with the runner left on, and now it's a 4-1 Rays lead.
I just want to wish all mothers a happy Mother's Day.
And lots of moms on hand here at the ballpark. Those beautiful sun hats given out today. A lot of pink bats being used by the players that will be auctioned off for the Cancer Society. And a lot of signs wishing Mom a happy Mother's Day as well. And we do the same. Hope you're having a good one. Beautiful day. Summer arriving here apparently the last couple of days. Some high clouds moving in, making it a perfect day to be at the ballpark, sitting out watching the ball game.
Yeah, summer has a way in Baltimore of arriving in a hurry.
Flaherty goes after the first pitch he sees. Rhymes has got it. Ryan Flaherty hitting ninth is retired. And one away. Take a look at this day of baseball history brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Go to OCOcean.com. Click on Summer of Thanks for special deals and discounts. It was 1929, the first game where both teams wore their numbers on the back of their jerseys. It was the Indians hosting the Yankees. Came at League Park in Cleveland on May 13, 1929. A bit ironic in that the Yankees have ever since refused to go any further and won't put their names on. Here's Xavier Avery in his first major league ball game, called up today, grounded out in his first major league at bat.
So again, I guess it kind of makes it a little bit easier to play for the name on the front of your uniform, not the name on the back.
When you don't have one.
Right.
There's nobody to play for.
Just play for your team, not yourself.
And a strike taken on the inside corner.
That was one of Mike Flanagan's great. He said you could always tell the guys that didn't play on winning teams, you trade for them and they're used to playing for the name on the back, because that's not what winning baseball is about. You play for the Orioles or the whatever team you come from if you're a winner.
And a 2-ball 1-strike count. One down. Avery to be followed by Hardy. And the Orioles all echoing those very sentiments during this run where they're 22-12 to start the year in first place by 2 games. 2-1 delivery. Avery a chopper towards second base. Again, Rhymes. And told you, Shields, 72% of outs on ground balls, and he's getting them. Speaking of what Jim was talking about, Pedro Strop had this to say about this ball club after last night's game. I feel good because we found people that we can play with and we can win with. A lot of people are asking me, are you surprised at this team? We aren't surprised. We've been doing what we've been hoping. A lot of people are surprised, but we're not. We are going to keep winning games. After the ball game last night, for someone who's really added to the bullpen, Pedro Strop.
Yeah, it's nice to play well. It's nice to play teams that are injured. The Orioles certainly have had their problems. What did Buck Showalter said? People don't really concern themselves too much.
Hardy gets the base hit with 2 down.
Yeah, they don't really care if you had guys that are probably worried about it. I mean, I think it's great to go to Boston. I mean, I think it's great for the game that Jacoby Ellsbury was probably the most dynamic player, but it's a lot easier to play the Red Sox when they're playing utility guys instead of him. Same when you go to New York. Swisher, what? He's got about 18 lifetime home runs
in this game.
Oh yeah,
without Evan Longoria.
Yeah, right. And you know, Jennings, an outfielder that has been on the fringe, came up and really played well last year.
The great part for the Orioles is they're winning these games against these teams when they themselves continue to add on a daily basis somebody to the disabled list and continue to call up players. That ball will be lifted in the air, foul. Nick Markakis, a strikeout victim, is first time up.
Well, you talked about the grounders, and the one thing again, all the home runs, lefties against James Shield, the master of movement.
Still hasn't had a fly ball out in the ball game. He's got 7 ground ball outs.
Well, you can just see a little 2-seamer to Ryan Flaherty, young hitter. Xavier Avery, hits the ball pretty sharply the first time. Next time he comes back with a changeup. Great movement, great late finish. He gets another ground ball.
0-1 count, 2 down, runner at first. Markakis will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Shields, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, some ground balls. Shields coming in 9th in the league in strikeouts. He now has 44 in the year. 77 wins and 64 losses for the 30-year-old. And the 0-2 delivery, and Markakis will take it, and it misses inside.
So you could see in and out. Start him with a cutter, fastball outside corner. I mean, he's got a lot of ways to get you out. He didn't like being 13 and 15. Had a great off-season program going into 2011, and it really paid off when you saw those numbers. Very comfortable pitching here, 5-1 lifetime.
Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that will be reached for and fouled away.
I saw him on Friday. I said, did you do the same program? He said, yeah, we added a few things. Did a lot of stuff for the lower body, because he felt that his windup didn't have enough balance. I said, any cage fighting? He goes, no, we kind of skipped that.
He's had a real reversal. Maybe it's the number of ground balls, but he had always been a much better pitcher at home at the Trop. He is 35-38 on the road with a 4.5 ERA in road games lifetime, and he can field. This year he's winning ball games on the road, 3-1 with an ERA of 2.86. And Shields leaves the mound with a lead, 4-1. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T 4G LTE with speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G. AT&T, rethink possible. By Chevy Cruze, offering the best highway mileage of any gas engine in America. And by Hyundai. New Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer on this May 13 Mother's Day. Orioles looking for the sweep. Rays trying to avoid it, and right now the Rays are on top. Lots of signs today around the ballpark. A real good house on hand for this Sunday game. Jake Arrieta, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Elliott Johnson, the number 9 hitter, will take it for a strike. He singled in a run in the second inning. Zobrist had a 2 RBI double that inning, and Rhymes a 2 RBI single in the third. Orioles have the single picked up by Davis. Flaherty's got no play.
No. Well, you can't defend that. So you change your plan of trying to get Elliott Johnson out. The first time got a fastball, hit it in the right field for a base hit, perfect bunt. The one thing about the Rays, I mean, this is a must-win game for them. It's only May, but again, a very resilient ball club. 3 out of 4 postseason appearances. They turned it on in September. Would they go 17-10 as the Red Sox were going 7-20? They're used to playing these kind of games where if you're a grinded out team, which I would think they would certainly qualify, this is a must-win afternoon.
And the Orioles want to put the foot on the neck in this ball game, and they're going to have to do it coming from behind, which they've done a lot of, but cannot afford to give up any more here to the Rays.
Well, not only
Ball Club, 22 wins. Tampa Bay Madden with 20.
And then they have speed at first.
Johnson 2 for 2 in the game, the base runner. Zobrist, the leadoff batter, a double, a walk, and a couple of RBIs. And Arrieta misses up high with that. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, I have been in these situations when I was pitching so much, and what happens when you have speed at first and a disciplined hitter, the longer you go, the more pitches you throw, more of an opportunity, in spite of Matt Wieters' ability to throw guys out, that they get to steal a base. So you really have to say to yourself, you know what, hey, throw him a two-seamer down and away. See if he's trying to pull the ball. Keep the ball down, something that Jake's had a little bit of problem with doing, and get yourself maybe a double play ball. But if you throw 4 or 5 pitches, I don't think Elliott Johnson's going to still be standing at first.
Davis holding the bag on him for the Orioles. There's the throw over to get him back.
And if it takes throwing over, if it takes holding the ball, if it takes throwing a few more fastballs, you need to do that. And that's what speed does. It changes the way. I mean, you can throw all the breaking balls you want, and Johnson will steal second. Tampa
Bay, 23 stolen bases, runner not going, another slow roller. This is going to be tough.
Covering.
Nobody's there. As Davis came in to play it along with Arrieta, and Andino couldn't get over there in time. 2 consecutive infield hits.
You know, that's a play you do all spring training, and you yell it, I got it, I got it. But again, right here, he's going to get to it quickly. You could see the glove, but he may not have yelled, or maybe Chris Davis didn't hear. Either way, again, he throws it to him. It's lucky it didn't go by him.
Oh, the Rays, a chance for a big inning. Here's B.J. Upton, nobody out, 2 on, 8 hits in the ball game. Johnson goes to second, Zobrist to first, good speed in both spots. Upton has struck out twice, 1 for 9 in this series, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. And Tampa Bay piling up the base runners in this ball game against Arrieta, who has thrown 64 pitches so far in the game. Rays already 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. It's the 9 that's the really high number. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that'll be back into the screen. Arrieta again having to throw important bear down pitches.
Well, he's got the right guy up there, only in the sense that he strikes out a lot, 152, 160, 164 times. Not your ideal number 2 hitter because he's not a contact hitter.
Only gone 6 for 37 in the month of May. 0-2 delivery. Upton will take it away for a ball. And it'll go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is the difference for the Rays this year to last. These are the situations where Tampa Bay has come through in previous seasons with big hits and win ball games. This year it's been a struggle to get them. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Upton again will take the pitch away, and it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then you combine that with the fact they've gone from the team with the fewest errors in the majors to the team with the 3rd most. That spells trouble even with a good pitching staff.
Yeah, then you mentioned good starters, bad bullpen.
No. They've had weaknesses show up in those departments, but a long way to go. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Upton. Arrieta steps off.
Well, you know what the pitch is. It's a slider down and away. Get on top of it. Either strike him out, get him to hit a ground ball. Turn 2. 1 pitch can get you 2 outs here if you make a good pitch.
2-2 delivery on the way. Upton will take it, and after getting ahead 2 strikes, it is 3-2.
And he threw him a straight changeup. That's a pitch he has yet to throw for a strike this afternoon.
Johnson at second base, they hit down to third. Zobrist first base, they hit down to first. Here's the 3-2 to Upton, and he struck out again 3 times in the game.
Well, you got the right guy up there if you make the right pitches. And take a look right here. It's a hanging slider, but again, the hanging slider can be effective if it hangs high enough, and he swings right through it.
So 1 away, and now a chance for the ground ball to get out of the inning if he can get it off Joyce, who has singled and flied to center field today. That 286 number. Joyce this year, he has hit into a couple of ground ball double plays. There they go. Runners are going, and the fake throw by Wieters to second. Hardy did go over to cover. It'll be double stolen bases for Zobrist and Johnson.
Well, again, Joe Madden saying, what the heck, might as well get some runs. Upton couldn't get him into scoring position. Let's take advantage of what the Orioles give them, and they steal a couple of bags.
5 for 5 now for Johnson, 2 for 3. 2 for 5 rather the other way, and it's going to matter. Markakis up with it. They'll hold the runner at third. Comes into the cutoff man. Joyce delivers an RBI single, and it is a 5-1 ball game. And the stolen bases helping to create that run.
Well, when you give them the extra out and the roller really off the bat of Ben Zobrist, they don't make the play. Instead of having one out, and then again, it's been an afternoon of fastballs in the middle of the plate. And Joyce doesn't miss those pitches very often.
Joyce has a 2 for 3 day going, his 18th RBI. Orioles will get the bullpen activated. And here's Luke Scott again. Luke came up 2 on in the first inning, first and third, and struck out. Led off the third inning, grounding out. Runners on first and third, and 1 away. Scott with a 4-game hit streak, and he has been their best at getting runners in. Arrieta's pitch to him is swung on and missed.
Yeah, good changeup. Well, you need it out here. I mean, you need a ground ball, a pop up, strike out if you can get ahead. And I was reading that Hideki Matsui actually went to Toronto to get his work visa. And he's in extended spring training. I'm just wondering where they're going to play him. Don't you have enough DHs?
Looks like it. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Scott will take it up high for a ball. And Kevin Gregg is up in the bullpen for the Orioles here in the 4th inning. 4 for 11 for the Rays in the ball game with runners in scoring position. They've got the 5-1 lead, 9 hits off Arrieta. Luke Scott with only 1 away is trying to get that run in from third, and will foul it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arrieta coming off the game against Texas, in which he gave up 6 runs, 9 hits in 6 1/3 innings. Of course, that was the ball game where Hamilton had the 4 home runs, and Arrieta was charged with 2 of those.
Yeah, Beltry hit another one on a high slider, hit it to the other way. Nice at bat for him. And a little different team here. They don't hit a lot of home runs, but they've gotten good pitches to hit and work the whole field. Now, of course, Luke Scott's a different animal with his strength.
Runners off first and third. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Scott will take it down low. Runner's going to go to second. No throw. That will be a wild pitch, I would think. And again, there goes a chance at a double play.
You know, you practice it all spring, and even when you're taking batting practice, anything in the dirt, and this is a curveball that just bounces, and Matt Wieters can't snare it. And again, the guy that just went to second sprained his ankle on Thursday night, so running a little bit better.
Infield now has to come in with only 1 away. Orioles want to shut down Zobrist from third if they can. Second wild pitch of the year for Arrieta. First of the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Luke Scott. And just nubs that one off the end of the bat, foul. And it will stay at 2-2. See the pitches. Want to stay down around that 15 pitch mark if you can, or lower.
That's hard to do. I mean, never really thought about it because it didn't matter when I pitched. And just think about it: 7 innings, 15 pitches. That's 105. You never pitched 9 innings if they put you on that count.
2-2 delivery and foul tipped and held on to.
Well, you know, it's the time, one of those games where, again, I know that Jake didn't want to give up 5 runs, but the fastball, the velocity's good, the command isn't. Using his changeup, we've seen 86, 87. This is a changeup. You have a really good fastball hitter in Luke Scott. The Orioles certainly know that because that's what he hit so well when he was here. Struck him out on a curveball.
Arrieta's got 6 strikeouts in the ball game. His season high is 7. Game against Toronto, career high is 9. Now a chance to get out of the inning with only 1 run scoring. If he can get Pena. Pena doubled and scored in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's also struck out. He rips that one foul. Got a round on it. Pena now with a couple of hits in 5 at bats off Jake Arrieta. Oriole bullpen activated with Greg up, just standing and watching now to see if Arrieta can get through the 4th inning. Big shift put on against Carlos Pena. Without Evan Longoria in the lineup, the Rays have now won 5 and lost 6. And he's not going to be back for a while. Here's the 0-1 delivery, ripped. And that is a base hit into the corner. That's going to be good for 2 RBIs. Zobrist, Joyce will both score. Pena's got 2 doubles in the ball game. And Tampa Bay's found their hits. It's 7-1.
Yeah, he's all going to be all over. They try to go in. It doesn't get in. Inside middle. Guy with a quick bat pulling off pitches, so that's pretty much where he likes it. And again, back-to-back doubles for Carlos Pena.
And that will be it for Arrieta. Certainly not what the Orioles had hoped or what they needed today. And the Orioles are going to have to go to the bullpen, and Kevin Gregg will be coming on with the Rays leading it 7-1 here in the 4th inning. Off him. Here's Gregg.
Yeah, Kevin Gregg actually pitching pretty well for the Orioles. Those numbers that look a little skewed are the ones that happened up in Toronto, where he came in, did not pitch well in a Ryan Mattis start. So again, hadn't given up a run in 4 scoreless appearances after early on in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 5 runs. So comes on. You'd love to be able to get it out here before they score. And the reason, obviously, James Shields is pitching for the Rays. Doesn't give up too many runs.
Runner on at second base, 2 down. Jeff Keppinger is the batter. Keppinger has singled, scored, and he has grounded out. Keppinger 2 for 3, lifetime off Kevin Gregg. A big ball game offensively, 7 runs, 10 hits, and we're not through the 4th inning yet. That'll be foul back and a 2-strike count. 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position for the Rays in the ball game. All in the first 4 innings. And for Jake Arrieta, a very disappointing start. Couple of walks, 6 strikeouts for him. There's a 9-iron chopper back to the mound. Gregg's got it, runs it over, and gets the out. So a big inning, 3 across in the inning. 4 hits, base runner left on, and it is 7-1 Rays. Bill Hall homered last night in his O's debut, and the last Oriole to homer in his debut. Cesar Izturis. They came on April 6th back in 2009. Bill Hall, one of the many new additions to the ball club, arriving on a daily basis. Orioles sending Evelyn to the bullpen, the starter, with Pomerantz being sent down in order to make room for Xavier Avery, who's starting in left field today. The Orioles now have got to get some base runners. Long way to go in the ball game, but Arrieta touched up with 7 runs on 10 hits in 3 2/3 innings, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Jones will come to the plate. Tampa Bay players, all but 2 have had 3 at bats. Jones getting his second here in the 4th inning. Jones hitting at .292 for the Orioles, and a pitch there for a strike and into a fielder's choice his first time up.
Yeah, I think you'd like to think that James Shields going to lose his focus, but he comes in at 5 wins, 1 loss, and given a little over 3 runs a game, and yet they've only scored him a little bit over 3.5 runs a game.
Shattered the bat. It'll go to third. Keppinger, the bat went right by him. Nice scoop made at first by Pena to get the out.
Yeah, the one thing you know with Carlos Pena is you take a look right here, and again, this is all over Adams' fist, so right off the bat handle, and he dodges that, and then I'm sure that caused a low throw. So Pena hits home runs, he strikes out, but the one thing he can do is you look at the shattered bat, and again the moving fastball in on the fist. Carlos Pena can pick it over at first base.
So an out recorded here in the first. The Orioles Wieters double leading off the second inning, scored on a Davis single. That's the Orioles run. 7-10-0 for the Rays, 1-3-0 for the Orioles. Wieters with a swing and a miss. Talked about how coming into the game, the Rays hitting only .188 in the first 2 games, and they had picked up only 12 hits. They've got 10 in this game, and we're not halfway through. 0-1 delivery. Wieters fouls it off. 0-2.
What did Joe Madden, the skipper of the Rays, said? He said we had an offensive infestation. The inability to get runs on Friday night because they had opportunities. He said last night it was a defensive infestation when they make 5 errors.
So now trying to put it together and get all parts working.
They called Truly Nolan. That's what they did.
And that one lifted in the air to center field. Upton coming, and he'll get there, and Wieters is retired, and there are 2 down. For Orioles alerts you can't miss, including starting lineups and in-game updates, text Orioles 29292. This ball game, 5 for 14 for the Rays with runners in scoring position. An inordinately high number of chances. The Orioles 1 for 2. Here is Nick Johnson. Johnson grounded out his first time up. 7-1 lead for the Rays. Nolan Reimold is with the ball club after getting that shot he needed. Not going to be able to do anything until at least Monday, so his return, Orioles really have no idea. They don't even know when he's going to be able to start working out. And talking with Nolan yesterday, I mean, it is tough sitting around doing nothing, and every season there seems to be a moment where an injury arises and he loses precious time, and he was really hitting.
Yeah, it started with just a tingling, and then he said he started losing strength on the left side. So you know, the minute you relieve the pressure on the nerve, and that's what the epidural is supposed to do, and then all of a sudden maybe you get the neurological blood flow, all that stuff going, and you can start working out. But hopefully that'll be the case.
That's his hope. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Johnson. 2 away and nobody on. Shields with the 2-2. And Johnson will take it, and that's that. Shields really quieting the house. A 1-2-3 inning, and the Rays on top. Some folks at the National Aquarium visiting on this Mother's Day Sunday. Can I get a lift? 6:30. Tom Davis, Mel Anton, and Dave Johnson and Phil Wood. They'll recap the weekend series against the Rays. Have a preview of the 2-game set coming up with the Yankees. That will be on Monday. Yankees in here tomorrow night. That short 2-game stand. Jason Hamill, Ivan Nova open it up. Wei-Yin Chen, CC Sabathia in game 2. Happy Mother's Day. Greg came on to get the final out in the 4th inning. Rhymes will lead it off. And a swing and a miss. He's picked up a single, an RBI, a stolen base. And he is flied out. Got out of an 0 for 13 with a single in the 3rd inning. Greg with the 0-1 delivery to him. And that will miss down low. Ball and a strike. And Kevin Gregg, if successful here, maybe has to go 2 1/3. That'll be a shattered bat on the foul ball.
We're really not used to it, but again, you have to go back a long way. Signed by the Athletics all the way back in '96, but as he worked his way through the minor leagues, he was a starter. I mean, that's been many years ago. But this year we've seen him throw the curveball a little bit. That's how he's started off Will Rhymes. So he's got more pitches than you usually see when you're a closer. And of course, the reason for that is you don't want to get beat on maybe your 3rd best pitch, but it's nice to have 3 or 4 when you're starting or pitching long relief.
2 ball, 2 strike count. And another base hit. So this team that couldn't hit is hitting. Rhymes has a 2 for 3 in the ball game, a leadoff single. Our PNC Inside the Numbers brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. The Orioles bullpen among the American League rankings. They are 2nd in ERA. They are 4th in opponent batting average, 1st in wins, 1st in saves. The little troublesome part is that last 1 innings pitched. They are 3rd in innings pitched. Jim Johnson's done a great job as the closer. I'd like to see these starters going a little deeper and not start piling up these innings pitched by the Orioles bullpen. But they've been fantastic. Take a look and see where that ranks here with the American League teams. The bullpen's innings pitched: Kansas City, Boston, and then the Orioles. You'd expect that KC. Boston starters have struggled. Minnesota's having a disastrous start. Cleveland, a little surprised there. Their starters haven't gone deeper. That'll be foul back. And then for the teams that have had the most innings pitched, the American team trailers: Los Angeles to 77, Chicago, Texas, Toronto, and Tampa Bay. Those are the fewest innings worked by the bullpens of those teams. And generally what that means, of course, your starters are going deep, and that's always a plus.
And that means your bullpen can stay healthier as the season progresses.
That'll be outside. Jimenez, a walk, scored in the 2nd inning, and he was flied out. Tampa Bay looking to end their 3-game losing streak. They have won only 1 of their last 7 ball games. Runner at first, nobody out, 1-2. Little looper to second base, right off the end of the bat. And Dino is there. 1 down. Also in this Mother's Day, worthy of note, the historic moments in baseball. In 1947 occurred when Jackie Robinson was breaking into the game in Cincinnati. The fans at Crosley Field in Cincinnati had a barrage of racial assaults verbally against Jackie Robinson. It was the day when the Southerner by the name of Pee Wee Reese, who was the shortstop for the Dodgers and their captain, on the field intentionally, making sure everybody in the crowd saw, went up to Jackie, engaged him in some comments, put his arm around Jackie Robinson, and walked off the field with him together and quieted the ballpark. It was one of those historical moves, not only in a baseball context but otherwise. That ball to second base. Hardy will go to first. They will get the out, and the shift did not allow anyone to get over to second base, so Rhymes gets down to second.
Yeah, more pressure on the Oriole bullpen staff. I had a chance to, when I got in the Hall of Fame, Pee Wee Reese, who was a Hall of Fame shortstop the Dodgers was still alive. What a gentleman. And then for years, game of the week.
Oh, great.
Dizzy Dean
great
and
announcer.
Pee Wee Reese.
He and Pee Wee. Listen to the rumble, mighty engine roars.
He done slid into second.
Slid into second. Dizzy would sing the Wabash Cannonball. Pee Wee would hum it behind him or play the harmonica. Here's Ben Zobrist. Zobrist, 2-hit ball game. He has doubled, 2 RBIs, singled, scored, stolen a base, and walked. Pretty full day for 3 at bats. And Zobrist will take it for a strike. 7 runs, 11 hits now for the Rays, and they've got another runner out there at second base. Rhymes.
Yeah, trying to make it easy for Big Game Shields. James Big Game Shields. That's still on. I guess probably met him 5 years ago, and when I asked Dwayne Stats just how did he get the nickname, he gave it to himself. I go, well, pretty good self-image. And then he almost, third in the Cy Young Award. He said this year the T-shirt is Wago, G.
Wago.
That means game in Spanish, but so, and I guess they had T-shirt day last year in Tampa. He designed his own T-shirt, which is about him. So good for him. And it seems so unlikely if you've ever met James Shields. He probably has a different persona when he pitches.
Another shattered bat. Now to go to second base. Andino will make the play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Big Game Shields will be back on the mound with his T-shirt in a minute.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Province, Afghanistan with Regimental Combat Team 5. Wanted to say hi to my folks there at the game today. Mom, Dad, hope you're enjoying the game, and I hope to be where you are in September or maybe even October to catch some of that Orioles magic. But wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to you, Mom, and let's go O's.
So a little surprise for the mom and dad, Linda and Don Love. That was their son, Captain Daniel Love, Marine Corps, currently in Afghanistan. The Orioles and the Marine cooked up the little deal where they would make sure the parents were here, giving them tickets, and then get the video recorded, sent it over, and the Orioles get it up on the board. Great message here today for Linda and Don Love from their son in Afghanistan.
Yeah, we hope to see him in October.
Sure he will.
At
in
the
October.
Ballpark. Boy, wouldn't that be something?
The Marine says October. It's October.
Well, they kind of have a little waffle there. It's September or
October.
Maybe October.
Orioles' Chris Davis will lead it off against James Shields. Shields with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Davis a single, picking up the lone RBI. Only 53 pitches have been thrown by Shields as we go to the 5th.
And you see 36% fastballs.
And
seems like it's a little bit more. I think they call the cutter and all that, but great movement. So how is he going to let you back in the game? Only 1 walk. Only 1 ball in the air. So you need some free passes. It's not always easy to do.
Towards the hole, Rhymes sliding makes the nice play, and Davis is retired, 1 down. Our PNC postgame tune-in will be coming up after the ball game, brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. Jim and Rick will be there to take a look at this Sunday game, Buck Showalter's press conference, player interviews, and more. The Orioles coming in hoping for a sweep, of course, having won the first two. Down 7-1 though in the fifth inning, so they're going to need a monumental comeback. But saving grace is they've got some time to do it if they can stop the Tampa Bay attack and find a way to get some people on against Shields. Neither task seemingly easy in this game. Here's Andino. He hit into a double play his first time up, one for his last 15. Troy Patton in the bullpen. The 0-1 delivery on a check swing will miss down low. Shields better against the toughest. He's always been tough in the American League East. He's got a 2.51 ERA against the East going back to the beginning of last year. And a check swing. Did he go? And the answer's no. Talking about the pitches thrown by him coming into this ball game, the numbers on him were that he threw a fastball on 24% of the time, the lowest in the American League by starters. Threw a changeup 31% of the time. 2-1 delivery will be fouled back.
Yeah, I was looking at those numbers and I'm thinking, well, so there you go. But again, I mean, the changeup and then he's got the cutter, so it's 31%. So that's how you get to that. It seems today he's thrown more fastballs than that chart would tell you. There's a changeup popped up.
That'll be to shallow right. Second baseman back and will make the catch. Rhymes there to get it. And there are two down. There's the percentage recorded today.
That's obviously a very, very, very low percentage of fastballs. Last night they had Matt Moore. He threw what, 71.4% fastballs.
You gotta love that in the series. I'm of the Davey Johnson theory, which Davey's always had, the manager of the Nationals. He always loved getting pitching staffs together where you could go with a guy that threw 98 one day and then the guy who didn't throw anything over 80 the next day in a series. Have pitchers who went at it three different ways if he could, where his belief was if you do that and they're effective, can throw strikes, the opposing team never gets set, never gets a chance to get balanced. And a big swing and a miss. Ryan Flaherty, two down, nobody on. He grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, rookie, Rule 5 guy, so he's going to mess with him. There's a first pitch changeup. Yeah, I go back to the great staff I pitched on. You had Cuellar, screwball, Dobson, fastball, curveball, slider, right-handers. There's a cutter.
Four strikeouts. Shields got him, and right now absolutely dominating this game. Setting the Orioles down in order, 7-1, Rays lead.
Ben Zobrist with a long double off the wall. Must-win game for the Rays. Chris Davis, who had been struggling, base hit the deep shortstop. Orioles would score their run. And then Carlos Pena, a couple of doubles this afternoon. So raining runs for the Jays. Arrieta starts, does not have one of his better games. can see right there, Pena went with a couple of doubles. Matt Wieters did double and scored the only run. Shields on the mound, and Troy Patton coming in to pitch for the Orioles. The lonely left-hander out in the bullpen, other than Dana Evelyn, if you want to count him, started and pitched on Friday night.
So Patton, who has become a regular out of that bullpen for the Orioles, will come on in place of Greg, who did a nice job an inning and a third, only one hit, and that was it. Patton's got a 1-0 record. This is appearance number 14 for him. And the pitch will be taken for a ball. B.J. Upton has struck out 3 times in this ball game. So Upton, the golden sombrero, is moving in on him, or down on him, or something. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and foul tipped 1-1. Upton against the lefties, 250. About 30 points higher. Almost 35 against the right-handers.
Yeah, Troy Patton's his defense against right-handers are the running fastball and the changeup.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way,
and there it is. So a sinker to get ahead in the count, and then he just pulls the string, gets B.J. Upton out in front.
Watch his head. Watch Upton's head.
Well, he overswings. You don't strike out 150 to 160 times if.
Gone again. Voila, sombrero.
Now you think that maybe BJ was excited to see Patton come in because Arrieta left, and then look at this breaking ball. Good one. Late breaker. Started off the corner. Just bring it back. Boy, Troy Patton's come a long way since that labrum surgery on his shoulder. Came over in the Tejada trade and had to spend a couple of years rehabbing.
One away, Carlos Pena. Pena's picked the pace up. 2 singles, 2 for 3 RBI. He has scored a run in the ball game, hitting .217 off left-handers with a couple of home runs. Pena .236, as you saw on the year. 6 have been left on base in this game by Tampa Bay, and they've scored 7 runs. They've left somebody in scoring position in every inning. In fact, 1 each from the 2nd through the 5th, 2 in the 1st inning. And the 0-2 delivery, and a great off-speed delivery. 2 down.
Another breaking ball. Upton down, Joyce down. Trying to stay in there just long enough, but the speed and the break fools him.
Luke Scott's had an 0 for 3 in the game with 2 strikeouts. He's now 2 for 10 in the series. Just 6 for 37, a 162 average off left-handers so far. 2 down. Patton's pitch to him will be down low for a ball. Orioles employ the infield shift against him and play straight up in the outfield.
Yeah, really no time. You were talking about it last night. Again, the shoulder surgery, had the labrum tear, put in staples, anchors, I guess they call them, and certainly he said everything's fine, strong, but can only throw about 120 feet on the line. Doesn't know when he will be able to play in the field. I suppose he could play a little first base.
That's what he hopes to do. He wants to play first and then maybe work his way to the outfield in maybe a couple months from now if needed. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him. He said the doctors told him that the recovery period for that tear surgery is 18 months. It's a long time to get back. So he's really, in essence, playing through the rehab period by doing the thing he can do, and that's hitting, without having to throw the ball as a DH. 1-2 the count. Troy Patton trying to retire the side in order, and in fact he will. And he strikes the side out doing it. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning on this Mother's Day game at Camden Yards. Tampa Bay leading the O's.
I want to say Happy Mother's Day, Mom, and to all the mothers out there.
Feliz Día de las Madres a todas las madrecitas.
This is a special day for every Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I just want to wish all mothers a happy Mother's Day.
Feliz Día de las Madres. Te amo, mamá.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and a lot of them on hand here at this house waiting for the Orioles to do something offensively, with Shields just dominating the ball game. Orioles bullpen has picked up right where they left off now with Greg and Pat, and the Orioles bullpen in this series has retired 25 out of 26 batters that they have faced. They had retired 19 in a row in the first two games. Rhymes got that single off Greg to start it, and then the next 6 have been retired by Greg and Patton. But the Oriole bats very quiet as Shields continues to get his ground ball outs. 3 strikeouts, a walk. Top of the order, Xavier Avery, 22-year-old, first major league game, 2 ground ball outs to second. Shields delivery to him, and that's another one. He's gotten him to roll over on 3 and gets the out.
Well, that's what the good changeup, and just very difficult when you come out of AAA. Only been there for a short time to face somebody like James Shields, because of his ability to not only change speeds but to pitch to both sides of the plate, add, subtract. Knows what he's doing out there.
And we'll bring Hardy up. 237 average on the year. Hardy with a base hit and a walk. 1 for 1 officially, and now he's picked up a hit in 5 at bats off James Shields. Shields with the 8-5 mark against the Orioles. 1-0 delivery, and that pitch is going to be taken down low. Shields' 23rd career start against the O's for the 30-year-old. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and he rips that one to the gap in left center field. That'll take a couple of hops to the wall. Upton over to get it. Hardy on to second. Nobody there. First baseman comes over to cover second base, Pena. And Hardy gets a 2-bagger.
Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake, and this is just a high slider, and again, that's not where you want to end up. JJ certainly likes it, and just drives it up the gap. Yeah, if you're thinking about what do we need to do to get to James Shields, first of all, you got to knock him out of the game. Take your chances with the back of the bullpen.
He's only thrown 69 pitches, so in that department, he's got plenty left, one would think. Here is Nick Markakis called out on strikes, and he is grounded out. Hardy on at second base with the Orioles' 4th hit. He's got 2 of them. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike. The Orioles came in with 12 wins and 5 losses against the East. Best record against the Eastern Division ball clubs. This Tampa Bay team 7-8 in their own division. And Markakis fights it off, and it's a 2-strike count. Bill Madden talking to his pitching coach. And Hickey certainly doesn't look like Shields is having any problems. The Orioles are 3 for 11 in the series with runners in scoring position. 1 for 2 today. And the pitch outside, a 1-ball 2-strike count. Buck Showalter's team with a 2-game lead. This is the team that's in second place in the division. Hardy not being held at second. Markakis the 1-2. He'll foul that one back for a souvenir.
And again, he doesn't leave too many balls in the middle of the plate. That ball right in on Nick's fist. And by doing that, maybe just a little bit late, all of a sudden you open up that outside corner, or if you're Nick, you got to go, I got to be a little bit quicker, and then all of a sudden the breaking ball, and for him it's got such great movement, hard to stay on it.
1-2 delivery. Markakis takes it away. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Markakis coming in with that .288 average against Shields. with the strikeout and a ground ball out against him so far today. Orioles already winning the series after the sweep in this Sunday. Markakis down the line in left field. That'll get a run in. Hardy will come around to score. Markakis on his way to second base. RBI double, and it is a 7-2 game.
Well, a couple of doubles. Hanging slider to Hardy. Just a nice approach by Nick Markakis. This is what he does best. He usually ends up at somewhere around 40 to 50 doubles. Slices it into the corner for the second run.
Markakis gets his 16th RBI of the season. He ends up at second base and still only one away. Still waiting for the home run by the Major League's leading home run hitting team. 54 of them in 34 games. Here's Adam Jones. He leads the Orioles in that department. Shields delivery to him, and that is a strike away. Jones 10 home runs, 22 RBIs. He has a 4-game hit streak. He has not extended with the 0 for 2 so far today.
Well, you love to get within 4, and then you can load them up. Somebody go yard, and you're back in the game. And against a guy like Shields, you usually have to do it a little by little.
Shields 12 out of 22 first pitch strikes, a little low for him. Here's the 0-1. Jones, did he go? Nope. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The Orioles 5 hits in the game. Orioles just unable to get anybody on. Only the 1 walk, 5 total hits. Davis the RBI prior to this inning. Now Markakis with 1. Here's the 1-1. Jammed him.
Well, again, you go out. Here we are in the 6th inning, and what, 2 outs in the air. So it's hard to generate a lot of offense when you're hitting nothing but grounders. But again, right here, they get the double, 2 doubles, but 1 on a hanging slider. So if you're Jim Hickey, the pitching coach for Tampa, even though the pitch count well within reach at 78, if he starts elevating and Orioles all of a sudden start hitting balls in the air, and it's when maybe you're saying is either getting tired or maybe it's time to get the bullpen up.
Nobody in the bullpen at the moment. One and 2. They do hold Markakis. Rhymes keeping him tight to the bag. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's outside. 2-2.
A little extra at 94. We're trying to shoot for that outside corner. Nice take by Adam Jones.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Breeze picking up, blowing out towards left field. Jones on a heater goes down swinging.
Well, this is why the guy pitched 4 shutouts last year, 3rd in Cy Young, because he can add something. So 94 down and away, 93 rides it by him. You haven't seen this because he's been nibbling 2-seamers, cutters, curveballs, and changeups. And there's the express.
4 strikeouts in the game for James Shields. And here's Matt Wieters. A double ending in 0 for 12, 1 for 2 in the ball game. And Wieters on the swing and a miss. The 2 away with the runner at second base. Matt had that 0 for 12 slump after he finished up a 9-game hit streak. He's now had during this homestand 3 hits in 21 at bats. 0-1 delivery to him in the dirt. Jimenez with a nice stop. For every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the American Heart Association Heart Walk. 97 walks, $4,850. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And the pitch away by Shields. Count will go to 2-1. He increased the ground ball effectiveness by about 20% from last year and in his career. Is that off-speed stuff?
Well, if you're finishing your off-speed stuff.
And he lifts it. It's going to go foul.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup that might have stayed up, and Matt Wieters just out in front of it a little bit. So we've seen a high slider, a high changeup. Not that that means with a 5-run lead that it's all over, and they do finally have somebody up in their bullpen because he has elevated the ball. But then again, he's been so good. Look at that, 11 groundouts. I just think that he throws a lot of two-seam fastballs, and then again, because he's got such great movement on his pitches. No, the curveball's going down, the changeup's going down. He just gets a lot of ground balls.
It's the highest percentage of ground ball outs he's ever had in his career this year. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Wieters. Runner off second base. Matt will take it away in a full count, 3-2. Orioles will try and get somebody else on with Nick Johnson waiting on deck. Only 1 walk in the ball game, and that was back in the first inning.
Well, you need base runners, and you don't care how you get them. If he wants to walk Matt Wieters.
3-2. Popped him up over the Rays dugout.
Once again, a nice little flick at foul and a good changeup.
Wieters against Shields with a double he's picked up today in the 1-for-2, 4 for 18. He has had a home run off James Shields. 1 home run in the month of May for him. And that one in the air, right center field. It is back near the wall, and goodbye, home run! And the Orioles are back in it. A 3-2 two-out homer to make it 7-4.
So Matt Wieters, he flicks the good changeup foul. And boy, does it make it tough to get a guy out when your good pitches, they're foul balls, and then he waits for a mistake.
Eight home runs off Shields, all by left-handers. And Wieters picks up the dinger to make it 7-4. And here's Nick Johnson, 0 for 2 up high.
So you take a look, we talked about elevating the ball, and you could see his reaction.
Here's the 1-0 delivered to Johnson. That's low, 2-0. Wieters continues with virtually all of his production, homer and RBI, coming against right-handers. 8 home runs and 19 RBIs against right-handers.
And
that's outside 3-0.
Yeah, he's done it about 90 at-bats. I mean, the number last year, what, 11 home runs, 121 at-bats, hitting right-handed?
This year, batting right-handed, he's had 1 RBI and no home runs. He's hitting .320. And on 4 straight pitches, Nick Johnson picks up the walk with 2 down. And that'll bring Hickey out of the dugout.
Well, I've been there, and a lot of times, not that you lose focus. Boy, you start saying, hey, I can't blow this lead. I got a 7-1 lead. Now it's 7-2. Now it's 7-4. Boy, grip pressure is such an important part of pitching. And then again, you get to the point, it's the 6th inning. Pitch count started at about 77 in this inning. Now it's 91. You probably haven't had a day this warm in a long time since spring training. They play their games at home, and then so all of a sudden you're 1 swing away from being 1 run down. But again, everything down, now everything up. Royals taking advantage of it.
An elusive third out here. Hardy picked up a 1-out double. Markakis followed with an RBI double. Jones struck out. Wieters delivers the 2-run homer, and Johnson the walk. That gets Davis to the plate. He's had an RBI single, 1 for 2. Davis will foul that one back. Just getting the start at first base in the ball game today. 3 hits in his last 22 at bats. The average has dropped down to 288. Obviously still a very good average, but he's been red hot. He's gone from 326 as a batting average to the 288 mark over the last 6 games.
Yeah, the 2 for 20 will do that, and well, a lot of slow stuff. And as a pitcher, if they'll swing at it, you'll throw it. And Shields can do a pretty good job of slowing the bat down with change-ups. And on that pitch, a very, very slow curveball at about 78 miles per hour.
2 strike count, 2 down. Davis takes it. 1-2. 7-11-0 now for the Rays. 4-6-0 for the Orioles. Shields trying to find the 3rd out. Davis takes it away, refusing to bite. 2-2.
Yeah, tried to bring that cut fastball back and nip the outside corner, and he missed.
95 pitches thrown in the ball game. 32 in the inning. Here's the 2-2. That'll be popped up shallow left field. Joyce coming. Bermuda triangle, and a nice catch made. Keppinger going back to get it, and a big out. The Orioles, though, will pick up 3 runs. They do it on 3 hits, led by Matt Wieters' 8th home run of the season. Good for 2. Orioles back in at 7-4. Lot. We asked them to tell us about the cars they just bought. You said it. We heard it in the booth. Troy Patton. Zip, zip, zip.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can make some pitches, and he did. And again, a former starter that has figured it out. So there you go. Only 11 pitches as he strikes out the side. And so, again, the bullpen, as you mentioned, just comes in. They pitch well. They give the hitters, hey, if we can generate some offense, which the Orioles do with 3 runs in the 6th, we can get back in this game, and they are.
Orioles now, after the Wieters homer, 55 home runs, 35 ball games, continuing a record pace in Orioles history. Here's Carlos Pena. Patton stays on. Pena swings through it. Pena's had a good day. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, a run scored, and he is struck out.
The Orioles were described by somebody in the press room today. You're like the Blue Jays. 2 years ago, what, they hit 247 home runs. Don't see a lot of bases, just hit them high and far and go into the home run trot.
That's what the Orioles have.
That's the way it
lived
turned
on.
out, yeah.
Patton with the 0-1 delivery, and Pena will take the pitch away for a ball. And a 1-ball, 1 strikeout. We are in the top of the 7th inning. 7-11-0 for the Rays. 4-6-0 for the Orioles. Rays getting 3 in the 2nd, another in the 3rd, 3 more in the 4th inning. They've scattered the RBIs up and down the lineup. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Carlos Pena inside to him. Zobrist has had a couple of RBIs. Joyce has 1. Pena has 2. Rhymes has 1. Elliot Johnson has 1.
Yeah, Carlos has been able to get a couple of fastballs in the middle of the plate. The first double, Jake Arrieta fell behind 3-2. He crushed it, and then he tried to come in with a fastball, turned on it. Those were the doubles.
2-1 delivery. Arrieta, tough day for the Orioles starter. Shortest outing of the year, 3 2/3 innings, 7 runs on 10 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Greg came on an inning and a third, just 1 hit, and now Patton working his second inning. Shields so far has been on the mound for all of it for Tampa Bay. 3-1 delivery coming to Pena. Mile long and foul.
Yeah, for Jake Arrieta, I mean, it's just a matter of the last 2 starts. Balls up in the zone have been so good. He just has to kind of go back on the drawing board, figure out how to get the ball down a little bit. Threw the ball all right, just didn't make as many good pitches as he usually does when he pitches well.
Pena with a shift on against him. 3-2. Got it in and again fouled it off. He's always had a tough time in May. This has never been a good month for him. His career number in May is 219. And as we told you, Pena right now is the lowest batting average in the month of May of anybody in the league. He's upped it today, certainly, with the 2 hits. This month, Pena's now gone 5 for 39 with 1 home run, getting up to the 100 average. And that'll be popped up foul. So 3 foul balls on the 3-2 count from Patton.
It's almost like he hit it over his right shoulder. .239 lifetime hitter, but with power. Came into the season with 258 home runs.
Patton trying to find a way to get him out of there. Pena leading off the 7th. Here's the 3-2. Not yet. That's 8 pitches in this at bat. Stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles getting themselves back into it with the 3-run 6th inning. They picked up 1 on a Davis single in the 2nd. Markakis has an RBI double and the 2-run homer by Wieters to make the score 7-4. And again, the 3-2 delivery. 5 foul balls as Pena battles Patton.
Hard to wave with a hat.
It is.
Maybe not for you. You were kind of waving the other night.
3-2 got him. Patton wins the battle.
Wow.
4 strikeouts in a row.
Threw him the express, and then here comes the local. The changeup paralyzes him. Pretty nice pitching right there.
10 pitch at bat, and Patton finally got him.
We have 4 straight strikeouts for Troy Patton.
Here's Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger a single, 1 for 3 and a run scored. Couple of hits, 10 at bats in the series, and Patton will miss with the ball. Right-hander sitting only 214 off Troy, and the left-handers 292, the reverse of what you'd think would be true in the matchups. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Keppinger will take it. 2-0.
Yeah, Troy's right over on the first base side of the pitching rubber, so it gives him a direct angle to the outside corner to a right-hander and the inside corner to a lefty. And then he's got a very deceptive windup. He's going to almost step at you if you're a left-hander.
Strike inside corner. Keppinger yesterday with those 2 strikeouts, both looking. It's the first time in his career he has had a 2 strikeout game where the strikeouts have been called strikes. He's only struck out 40 times coming into this game in 80 appearances at the plate. 2-1 delivery will pop that one up down the line. Davis going back, Andino coming over, and no play behind the tarp. 2110 Utah Street, presented by Southwest Airlines, is back at Camden Yards Saturday, May 26th. Will be the Royals in a special 4:05 matinee. One low price, you get the reserve Utah Street bleacher seat, the exclusive 2110 Utah Street t-shirt. Space is limited, so join Nick Markakis and Adam Jones. 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Right out there's the 2110 section for Markakis and Jones. 2-2 delivered to Keppinger. Another one down the line. This one further foul. 29,552. 29,552 the attendance today. Spent much of the day watching Shields shut down the Orioles until that 6th inning. Now the Orioles back in it. A 7-4 ball game. 2-2 delivery. Keppinger in the air. Markakis. 2 down. Our PNC minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Solid season at AA, 243 average, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 5-game hit streak Jonathan's got going with the 2 doubles, a home run, 4 RBIs during the streak. The minor league player of the year, Brooks Robinson Award, won last season, and everybody keeping a very close eye on his play because he's a good one.
Yeah, he actually played second base with Manny Machado last year at Frederick. High A League that the Orioles have just up the road. About 35 miles.
Again, Adam Ball to Markakis. Grimes retired. 6 in a row retired by Troy Patton. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. Two-game stand against the Yankees. Jason Hamill takes the mound against Ivan Nova. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. Real good matchup for that opener with the Yankees. The task at hand right now is the Orioles. Actually, he's eating ice cream. That's the task at hand right there. Let's try to come back here. The Orioles have gotten to within striking distance against Tampa Bay yet one more time. And part of that, Jim, has got to be the fact that the way they've played so far, they do believe when they get into these ball games, something like the Wieters home run, all of a sudden they're like, you know something, maybe we do this.
Well, first of all, they get 3 runs, as you mentioned, in the 6th inning. Then they get them off James Shields, throwing nothing but grounders. The leadoff double with the hanging slider to Hardy. So all of a sudden, it's an interesting thing pitching with a Leaf when you've been that dominant as James Shields is. The hanging slider to Hardy for the double gives the Orioles hope, and then he elevates the ball to Matt Wieters. He hits his 8th home run, and all of a sudden you say to yourself, hey, let's get him out of the game. And that's something now that the pitch count's close to 100 that Joe Madden, who manages Tampa Bay, has to think about. and you want him gone, and you'll take your chances on their bullpen.
And a real good job by Troy Patton retiring all 6 he's faced on a day when the Orioles really need that. Jake Arrieta did not get them deep into the game the way they wanted to go. They really have only the 5 regulars in the bullpen, plus Eveland, who's gone out there. He doesn't want to have to go to Jim Johnson again, and he doesn't want to use Pedro Strop in this game.
No, and again, I mean, Gray comes in, pitches well. This is what the Orioles bullpen has been doing. Patton was a former starter, so he's got a sense of how to pitch. So it's great to see them do that, because even if you're a starter, and Jake Arrieta's got to be really disappointed. This was a game where he didn't have a good game against Texas, which is certainly understandable because they got the best offense in the American League. The Rays struggling offensively. He doesn't pitch as well as he can, but you're still in the game. It's going to be up to your bullpen, and then you're going to have to come up with 5-6 more runs in this ball game.
Well, let's see what the Orioles can do with it here as the crowd stretches. And we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Shields will stay out there on the mound, and it will be Andino, Flaherty, and the top of the order Avery due up against him.
A little defense.
John Rodriguez at third base.
A little defense at third base. And kind of a pivotal player. One of the errors yesterday, made a great play to get to a ball, but really couldn't get the handle, threw it away. Then on Friday night, the bad base running play, as they looked like they were going to get a bunch of runs, only got 1.
Keppinger out of the ball game at third, and there's a base hit. Andino going after the first pitch. Gets his first hit of the ball game, a leadoff single, 7th inning. Show off your Birdland pride and support the many programs aided by Orioles Reach by ordering the new official Orioles Maryland license plate. The new cartoon bird is featured. The plate's a great way to show your fandom and support for the community. Proceeds go to the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Used on community programs in and around the region. Maryland residents can visit Orioles.com/plates to reserve yours. That's hit number 7 off Shields. Here's Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty hitting 9th, playing at third base today. He is grounded out and struck out as the Orioles need one more on to get the potential tying run to the plate.
Yeah, I saw Ryan working on his bunting, and then Sean Rodriguez aware of it. We haven't really seen him, but they figured probably he could drop one down, but now a ground ball in the right field to get the tying run to the plate. But then again, there's good movement with a changeup. The one thing about it, Gary, for most young players, and the reason the Orioles got an Andino out of the Marlins organization or a Flaherty out of the Cubs organization, because most of them can hit the fastball. And what Shields going to do? Pull the string. He's done it to Avery, and he's done it to Flaherty.
Flaherty with the 0 for 6 in this series. Andino off first base. Shields a very long hold. Flaherty again, the swing and a miss, and the count will go to 2 strikes. So the bullpen active now. Ben Knopp, who we've seen in the series, and Jake McGee as well, both getting ready. Get the righty-lefty going in the bullpen.
And another changeup. So now all of a sudden, Ryan Flaherty, with the league average at about 185, even better with James Shields out there. He's got to cover everything. Hard, soft, in, out, up, down.
0-2 is taken in the dirt. Good stop made. Jimenez. And he'll hold the runner at first base. Orioles with 7 hits now with that leadoff single. The Orioles sent 7 men to the plate in the 6th when they got the 3 runs on 3 hits. 100 pitch total has now been reached by Shields. Big inning here for the Orioles, especially getting that leadoff batter on. Now trying to stay out of that ground ball double play with all those grounders Shields has gotten today. Again, the long look. 1-2 delivery. Flaherty gets the ground ball. Rhymes. And thrown away. Thrown to first. Not in time. And the defensive breakdown has opened the door.
Yeah, perfect 4-6 to 3 double play. And he can't quite get a grip on it. Nice running by Flaherty, because otherwise, it's tailor-made. You better get down there. Right there. Throws it off the mark. So they... And again, Flaherty getting down the line, just can't get a hold on it. It rolled up into his belt. And you can see L.A. Johnson panicky. Yeah, almost looked that way. And so a huge huge break for the Orioles. An extra out.
29 errors now have been committed by this Tampa Bay team. Had 5 yesterday, and this one really could prove to be big. They're going to play for a bunt here with Avery in his first major league game, having hit 3 ground ball outs.
Well, I don't know if he's bunting.
Rodriguez at third, in on the grass. Pena in at first base. Avery takes the pitch. It is a strike. 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, he's certainly looking down at DeMarlo Hale, the Orioles' third base coach.
Avery called up today. And in a key situation, trying to find a way to get these runners moved up. 1 strike count on him.
101 pitches for James Shield.
Not bunting, slow roller fouled off. So let Showalter let him go ahead and hit. And the count now is 0-2.
And again, softer and softer. There have been games, of course, Shields, I mean, he's well within against the Twins, 8 innings, 119. Game before that, 115. So this is nothing new.
Avery, just 22 years old, getting thrown right into the thick of it in his first major league game, his 5th pro year. Runners off first and second. Anything but the double play. Avery takes it. He got him. Well, 5 strikeouts for Shields.
Well, welcome to the big leagues. He drops a hook, change up, and then the curveball.
That'll be it for Shields. He's coming out of the ball game, and the Orioles have gotten the starter out, and now we'll try and get to the pen, which has not been particularly effective for this Tampa Bay team. So Shields will work the 6 1/3 innings here. Badenhop, who's worked in the series, will come on for Shields. The Orioles have the potential tying run at the plate in Hardy when we come back. Two who are on his responsibility, and the bullpen now in play for the Rays.
Yeah, we saw Burke Badenhop last night, struck out the side. Great sinker, great changeup, nice little breaking ball. Came up originally with the Tigers, actually got traded to the Marlins back in the Dontrell Willis trade back in 2007. So good numbers, righties, of course, with the home runs, but last night he was perfect.
Acquired from the Marlins for a minor league catcher back in 2010. Badenhop against Hardy, and he'll get a strike. Yes, Hardy has had a double, a single, and a walk.
Movement, Gary, just kind of moves, sinks a little bit. Got a change up, he throws off it. That'll slow the bat down, and then an occasional curveball.
Hardy's 2 for 8 against him. That'll miss. 1-1. The Orioles with Andino at second base, Flaherty at first, trying to take advantage of the error on what should have been a double play ball. Ended up getting nobody out and left the Orioles with 2 on.
I suppose this could be Badenhop's only hitter.
That ground ball's going to third. It will be foul.
You got the lefty McGee up for Markakis on deck.
Joe Madden's going to do whatever needs to be done in this ball game to preserve the lead. He'll match him up. Does not want to be swept here. They head off to Toronto for their next series.
Yeah, I asked Joe, his mom lives up in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, where he's from. I said, did Beanie come down? He said, no, she didn't come down. 80 years old, so happy Mother's Day, and didn't make the trip.
She watches all the ball games when she's not working at the diner. 1-2 delivered to Hardy. It's a comebacker. Gonna go to second base. There's one. The relay to first. Not in time.
Yep. Pena runs off like he got it. Badenhop about 6'4", 6'5", so it's a long way to the ground. Little sinker out in front of home plate. He's got to go down and get it. And again, it's a short hop. Good throw. Everything works well, except the bang play. Pena's going to make the tag, come off the bag like he. But J.J. Hardy, foot down. Tie goes to the runner.
That will be it for Badenhop. He'll work to just one batter. And now Nick Markakis will be facing the left-hander as McGee will be coming on. The Orioles still have 2 on. Now there are 2 down. At a big ball game, a couple of doubles, 2 RBIs. Matt Joyce for Tampa Bay. He's delivered a couple of hits and an RBI. And Matt Waiters with a big home run in the ball game. And 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. Rally caps are on, so's the big hand. It always goes better that way. I can get it up higher. I can drink better when I got the... Nick Markakis coming up to face McGee.
And he's got his hat sideways. No. Anyway, McGee comes in, left-handed specialist. Just the irony this year, he's been good for him. Hasn't given up a run or even been on the mound when a run is scored since April 19th. Righties hitting him better than lefties. Actually, righties hitting worse than lefties, but lifetime about 191. So you match up. Nick Markakis only 3 at bats against Jake. 1 for 3.
Nick hitting only 161 against left-handers with 1 home run. The Orioles have runners at first and third. 7th inning. They trail 7-4. Markakis had an RBI double in his last at bat. 1 for 3 in the game. He's picked up a couple of RBIs in the series. Big at bat in the ball game. Markakis will foul it back for a strike.
And that's an easy 96.
Andino's the lead runner at third base. He picked up a single in the inning to kick it off. Hardy reaching on a fielder's choice at first. And McGee trying to get it done for the bullpen and the Rays. 0-1 count of Markakis. Nick takes it 1-1.
Wow, 97. Well, you try to read the bat when you have the kind of arm that McGee has. You know, you have an idea, your game plan, through the first fastball, Nick a little bit late on it. And again, when you get in trouble, even if you throw that hard, if you throw a slider and don't finish it, all of a sudden Markakis becomes a guy that can drive the ball.
Way inside to him.
Yep.
Missed on that. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, we told you about the numbers. They don't even have anybody up for Adam Jones because McGee's gotten right-handers out for this year. 2 for 15. Well, coming into the season, they were hitting lifetime over 300.
2 balls, 1 strike. And Dino, Hardy get their leads at third and first. Markakis inside again, not even close, and that'll bring Pena on the run over to the mound as the count goes to 3-1.
Well, it is such a difficult job to come in. You come in with runners at first and third. Your job description is to stop the bleeding. You got to throw strikes. You have to figure out what's working, what's not. You got to figure out the mound. Then you got to get the hitter out. A lot of stuff going on for relievers.
He appeared in the first game of this 3-game set, gave up 1 hit in the inning worked. 3 ball, 1 strike count now in Markakis. Orioles down 7-4. And Nick lifts it in the air, center field, Upton going back at the wall, and can't get it. 2 runs are going to score. Markakis on his way to second base, and it's a 1-run ball game. And that close to being tied.
You know, normally, and Upton is such a good center fielder, you think he's going to catch it. But the ball jumping here on Mother's Day. So he plays deep. You know, he's going back and back and back, and he just misses the ball. Is it an easy play? No. I mean, he's not hitting the wall. He just ball off his glove. So again, he's a good center fielder. He doesn't make the play. And the Orioles 1 swing away from tying this game up. Maybe 1 swing away from taking the lead. It's a ball he normally catches. He's that good.
I don't think Upton got a very good read on that ball. He started in. He actually moved in a half step before he went back. Here is Adam Jones. 2 down, 7-6. Jones will foul it back.
So take a look, and again right there, he's kind of going sideways, and right there, it's a ball that he catches under normal circumstances today. Off the heel of the glove. The Orioles still alive here in the 7th.
3 RBI day for Nick Markakis. His 3rd 3 RBI day of the season. And the Orioles, another amazing comeback. Let's see if they can complete it. Adam Jones, the 0-1 delivery. That'll be outside to him. Adams 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Hey, does Jake McGee remind you a little of Matt Thornton? Off the White Sox, big lefty that throws 96, 97.
Orioles now have put up 8 hits in this game. One ball, 1 strike count. Jones takes it down low, 2-1.
No breaking balls yet from Jake McGee. Powder River.
4 for 8. Both teams producing today. And there's a potential tying run for the Orioles here in the 7th inning at second base with 2 runs in.
Has 2 outs. Good speed at second. You're going on contact. Tough to throw out Markakis at the plate.
2-1 delivery. Jones takes it 3-1.
Now they do have, it looks like maybe Peralta getting loose in their bullpen. And you make your choice if you're Joe Madden. With Matt Wieters, a switch hitter on deck, if Jones is able to get on, who do I want pitching to him?
The Orioles' best hitter with 2 down is at the plate. Adam Jones, 3 ball, 1 strike count, manager's intent. 3-1 delivery, fouled away, 3-2. The Rays had a 3-0 lead in the second. The Orioles got it in the bottom of the second inning to make it 3-1. Another run at it in the third inning, 4-1. Then in the fourth inning, 3 more, 7-1. That's the biggest lead Tampa Bay had. They have not scored since the fourth inning. The Orioles getting 3 in the sixth, 2 more so far here in the seventh. And there's Markakis. McGee with a 3-2, 2 down. Jones goes down swinging. McGee gets the strikeout, and the Rays have the lead. But it's no longer a big one. A one-run ball game after 7. Game, you have earned $1,500 from the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, play Strike It Rich scratch-offs and enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/strikeitrich. Troy Patton will stay out on the mound to start the 8th inning for the Orioles. He has retired all 6 batters he's faced. The Orioles 2 unearned runs in the 7th inning on 2 hits and an error after the 5-error ball game yesterday, in which the Orioles garnered 3 unearned runs. So the Orioles have taken advantage of opportunities, and now we go to the 8th inning, 7-6 Rays.
And the bullpen once again, there they are, and only the 1 hit. And Troy Patton faced 6 batters and struck out 4 of them.
And a swing and a miss here. Chris Jimenez, the catcher, he's walked and scored, flied out, and popped out.
You know, it's interesting to me. I'm looking at Troy Patton, and it's easy to see where he, at one point, was a really good starting pitcher because of his command of 3 pitches.
0-1, and he chases one away.
He's got movement, he's got location, he's got deception, he's got a curveball, a changeup, and a fastball.
He's pitched as many as 6 innings at the major league level, but that was about 5 years ago when he was a starter.
Didn't you do an interview? I mean, he said he's very happy with his role. Not that he would not love to start at some other point. I don't mean this year, but
he'd like to be a starter. Yeah. Swung on a miss.
There's a hook. Took a little bit off. Well, watch this. He just has length. So, again, he kind of steps across his body. I don't think you see the ball very well. And then makes a great pitch. Able to stay on top of this breaking ball, even though his arm angle is about 3/4.
He's got 5 strikeouts. And that pitch will miss down low. This is Elliott Johnson, the number 9 hitter. He's picked up an RBI single. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Couple of runs scored and a stolen base. 1-0 delivery to Johnson. That'll be outside, and it goes to 2-0.
Yeah, he started that 4th inning with a bunt base hit from the other side of the plate. Switch hitter. Also drove in a run.
Patton's high in strikeouts this year had been 2 prior to the day. He's got 5 in the air, left center field. Going back on it is Avery at the wall, and goodbye home run. Elliott Johnson, that is a big homer for the Rays as Johnson gets just enough to get it into the seats. That'll be his first home run and his third RBI of the year. 2 of those coming in this ball game.
Well, he likes May. He hit his first 2 major league home runs, one against Jake Arrieta last year in May, and Ivan Nova right here. The count. 2-0. He's looking fastball, gets it. And the rest is history. Just gets it up in the air. They're going.
The first run since the 4th inning for the Rays to make it an 8-6 ball game. The home run off Patton by Johnson. A 3-hit ball game for the shortstop, Ben Zobrist, and Zobrist will take it for a strike. Zobrist has had a real good day. Couple of hits, 2 for 3. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and that will miss outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Another crunch time game. 8 runs, 12 hits, an error for the Rays. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the O's. Shields and Arrieta, pitchers of record, the 2 starters. That ball is drilled in the air to left center field. Zobrist got all of it, and goodbye home run. Back-to-back shots by Johnson and Zobrist, and it is a 9-6 lead for the Rays.
Well, it's all about making quality pitches, and Patton's done such a good job of it. Here comes Rick Adair, the Oriole pitching coach. A lot of innings of late. This is just a high curveball. Head goes down again because he knows it's going out of here. So a hanging fastball and now a curveball. A couple of solo shots.
So right back with a long ball come the Rays on the back-to-back home runs. O'Day in the bullpen warming up. That's 13 hits in the ball games now for Tampa Bay. And B.J. Upton coming up. He has struck out 4 times in the ball game. Patton's delivery to him will be a strike on the inside corner. Patton had surrendered only 1 home run in the previous 13 2/3 innings coming into the ball game, and gives up the back-to-back home runs here in the 8th inning to the Rays. And for the Rays, couldn't have come at a more vital time. First time they've had back-to-back home runs this year. And the pitch will be taken down low. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, 9 runs will make up for some defensive miscues. That error by Will Rhymes got the Orioles right back in the game.
James Shields charged with 6 runs, 4 of them earned on 7 hits over 6 1/3 innings. Maidenhop came in, worked just a third of an inning, and then McGee came on, gave up the double to Markakis, and a swing and a miss. 3-2.
B.J. Upton, he didn't really shake his head. He just kind of agreed. Great pitch. He's trying to hit it on the way to Toronto, where they're going.
3-2 delivery, and he draws the walk. So after 4 strikeouts, he gets the free pass. He's on here in the 8th inning with only 1 away. Voting for the 2012 All-Star Game is open at Orioles.com/All-Star. In honor of the 20th anniversary of the Yard, vote at least 20 times, and online you can vote up to 25. Just go online, cast your ballot, vote early, vote often. Orioles.com/All-Star. 1 away. Runner at first, and this will bring Joyce up. Joyce, an RBI single, couple of hits and 4 at bats in the ball game. And Patton almost throwing that away as Davis reaches out to get it. This is going to a game of peaks and valleys for both teams, and not done yet. But the Orioles putting up that 2 spot in the bottom of the 7th. That's already been answered here in the 8th inning by the Rays. Joyce with a shift employed. Upton with the good speed at first. And the off-speed delivery will miss up high for a ball. This will be Patton's longest outing of the season. He pitched a couple innings in Boston first of the month.
Yeah, didn't he have a couple of 2 innings on Friday, 2 innings on that 17-inning game on Sunday, and then an appearance against.
Runner going, fouled off.
Against the Rangers when they were in for 4. A busy week. Well, he's got to make good pitches, and he's not a powerful guy. He's just 90, maybe 91 every once in a while. And he's gotten in trouble because he got behind and he elevated 2 pitches. It's so simple to do at this level.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Throw over again. Red Sox rock Cleveland again, 12-1. So they've won 3 in a row. They've got 15 wins on the year. Detroit with a chance to move within a game of Cleveland in that division, and Seattle beat the Yankees today. So the Yankees 3-game win streak is ended. 6-2 the final in that one. Patton a 4th throw over.
I think I saw Minnesota ahead of Toronto 4-0.
Boy, the Twins have won only 9 games coming into today's play, the fewest by 3 in the majors. San Diego has 12. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Upton leaning and running. Joyce down to first again. Fighting it off for that 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles 2-game lead over Tampa Bay. Cleveland now a 1.5-game lead over the Tigers, depending on the outcome today. Texas has got a 4-game lead over Oakland. Nationals leading Atlanta by a 1/2 game. Cardinals up 3.5 in the Central. And the Dodgers with a 6-game lead over the Giants in the West. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Joyce. And that pitch will be away. And the count evened up at 2-2. Now the Yankees shortly will be on their way to Baltimore for the 2-game set starting tomorrow night. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joyce fights it off. He'll hold it at 2-2. The Orioles still have 2 at-bats to work with in this ball game, but Tampa Bay with the home runs by Johnson and Zobrist putting up 2 very big runs so far in the 8th inning. Runner goes. Upton sliding, and he's in. Another stolen base on a possible pickoff. He's had 2 of them in this series like that.
Well, yeah, he could run the bases, 30, 40 steals every year. And again, if you're the first baseman, you really have to come get it. And it looks like Chris sees it, but he goes on the first move and he figures I can outrun it, and he does. It's such a tough throw, and it's a really good slide, even though he's out because foot came off. Hard for the umpire to see.
4 for 4 stolen bases, so he's in scoring position. Another big potential run.
Such an easier throw for a left-handed first baseman.
2-2, swung out and missed. 6 strikeouts by Patton.
Just a little two-seamer down and in. The movement gets him. And Joyce just swings over it. Nice pitch.
So 2 down with a runner at second base. And here's Luke Scott. He has struck out 3 times today. 0 for 4. Couple of hits in 11 at bats in the series, and 2 RBIs for the Rays designated hitter. As Patton will try and get out of this inning without further damage. Troy Patton has reached a new strikeout high in his career with the 6 in this game. That's a swing and a foul tip. Previously, Patton had struck out as many as 4 against the Pirates back in 07. One strike count. Back-to-back home runs, accounting for 2 so far here in the 8th inning. Patton with the 0-1. Scott will lift it in the air. Jones coming over, and he's got it. And that will retire the side. But Johnson and Zobrist have the homers. As a result, the lead extended again, 9-6 for the Rays. In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Badenov a third of an inning out of the bullpen for Tampa Bay. Didn't give anything up. McGee came on a third of an inning, had a strikeout and 1 hit against him, and now Peralta will pitch.
Yeah, he came in on Friday night. The Orioles down by a run, and Chris Davis hit a one-handed knuckleball into center field. Elliott Johnson, the shortstop, was shifted, couldn't get it. You can see the righties have actually hit him better than lefties, and then Nick Johnson came up and hit his first home run of the season. 2-run shot. The Orioles win it 4-3.
So the Orioles asked to make another comeback, having got it from a 7-1 to a 7-6 game. Now find themselves down by 3 again. It'll be Wieters, Johnson, and Davis due up against Peralta. Matt Wieters, a 2 for 5 off Peralta. He has had a double, a 2 RBI homer, 2 runs scored, 2 for 3 day. Matt now hitting a 278, 20 runs batted in. And Peralta's delivery to him is up high for a ball. 9 runs, 13 hits, and an error for the Rays. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Orioles. Rays have left 7. The Orioles have left 4. Orioles are after a sweep of Tampa Bay, already having won the series. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Wieters puts that up in the air, shallow left field. Joyce will have plenty of time to get under it. And 1 down. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, more. Just text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. Johnson 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. Nick Johnson, designated hitter today, as the Orioles have had 7 different DHs used so far this season. Here's the delivery by Peralta, and that's in the air to right field, way back. Nick Johnson, goodbye home run. We're not done here yet. Nope. His second home run, his 8th RBI.
Well, the one on Friday night just barely got over, maybe 3, 4, 5 rows. This one belted. Much more power with pink shoes on Mother's Day.
Well, we told you earlier, Nick Johnson, a couple of Mother's Day home runs. He had one back in 2002. He gets one here in 2012. More importantly for the Orioles, he cuts the lead to 2. Davis, an RBI single, 1 for 3. Davis with a big cut on that one.
No, take a look. I mean, it's pretty much center cut. Kind of like going to a steakhouse and saying there's the filet center cut. That's where that fastball was. Crushed.
Peralta gives up the home run for the hit number 9 for the Orioles. Davis fouls that one back in a 2-strike count. Chris Davis 1 for 2 off Peralta, a homer. Johnson now 2 for 2 off Peralta, and both of them have been home runs. One down, 2-strike count. Peralta has given up 4 home runs on the year, and the closer, Fernando Rodney, now in the bullpen.
And he's been good, 9 for 9. He leaves California, where he played for the Angels, and reinvents himself. Gets the opportunity.
2-strike count on Davis. Orioles again trying to get the potential tying run to the plate. Not this time.
There's the quick pitch. Again, with nobody on, your stretch position can be a windup. You don't have to stop your hands. You don't have to have that slight hesitation. And then he throws a great changeup, splitter.
And that will bring,
yeah, that just gets, I mean, it dives.
That'll bring Andino up. He got a single to lead off the 7th inning, starting the inning when the Orioles got a couple of unearned runs on 2 hits. Andino 1 for 3 in the ball game. A couple of hits in his last 17 at bats. Hitting at .286.
See how he gets set? He didn't get set on Davis. Doesn't have to.
Strike on the outside corner.
It's kind of like the old days when they used to do the double, the triple pump. Anything for deception. As long as you're not deceiving a base runner, which is a balk, but as a pitcher, that's part of your deal. You want to upset their timing, and then he made a great pitch.
0-1 the count on Andino. Check, swing, strike. That was in there, and it's 0-2.
Let's see if he does it again. Buck thinks it's low, and it was borderline. Actually, Jerry Davis, not a lot of very questionable pitches today for either team. Had a good day behind the plate.
Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that'll be scooped up. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. They grinded out a fair here in the series finale in the first meeting these teams have had on the season. Orioles coming away with a 5-3 win in the ball game yesterday, and the comeback 4-3 win in the opener. Trying to make it 3 in a row. Have come back in this game only to see Tampa Bay jump back out.
There you go again.
Fouled it back.
There's got to be something in the rule book about quick pitching, because that's what that is. But apparently nobody's called it on him. He doesn't even stop.
I don't think that violates anything.
No, well, there's nobody on base. So obviously you have to stop.
I mean, Louis Tiant can do anything he wants when he pitched a high jerky. Hold it, stop, and can do the same thing here. 1-2 delivery, that'll be fouled off again.
Yeah, his normal stretch position, and with a runner on, you actually have to have a definitive, discernible stop. You have right there. Now, on 2 occasions, strikeout to Davis, he never stops his hand. He just goes. And he's actually, I guess he's done it 3 times. He's done it different tempo each time. Now, you're looking at a 36-year-old veteran figuring how can I still be in the big leagues and be effective, which he certainly was for the Rays last year.
The reliever's version of a slide step.
Yeah. There we go again.
And just missed outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
It's kind of like a windup, but starting in the stretch position. There we go.
Great idea.
Yeah, it really is.
You never know which one he's going to use.
It's kind of like the Japanese version where, like Hideki Arabu used to stand back and back, and
that's going to be to right field, and that will be caught. Nice play by Zobrist, and a big play. It'll end the inning. A run on a hit. Nobody left on. Nick Johnson delivers his second home run of the year to pull the Orioles to within 2. We go to the 9th. On Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup. Gary Thor, Jim Palmer on this Mother's Day Sunday afternoon. Heck of a ball game. A lot of pink being shown at the ball clock. Yes, indeedy. Oh, a gift for Mother's Day. A baseball. Only she was giving it to him.
Yeah. Darren O'Day. Nice job. Other than maybe the worst pitch in the history of his career, the 4th home run to Hamilton, he's had a heck of a year. That was his assessment. 0-2 pitch. Tried to throw it a foot outside. It ended up right down the middle.
So his job, top of the 9th. Keep the score at 9-7. Pena will lead it off. Pena, then Rodriguez will get an at bat, and then Rhymes. Pena 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, runs scored, 2 for 4, couple of strikeouts. And the pitch by O'Day will miss outside for a ball. Pena 0 for 1 off the Orioles' Darren O'Day. Pena hitting at .234 now, 5 home runs and 18 RBIs. Shift on, 1-0 delivery. And a check swing the other way, and Flaherty's there. Bare hands it and gets it.
Yeah, I think Carlos figured I got a couple of doubles. I might get lucky here and roll one. But again, maybe they that a bunt attempt on Friday night. You can see most people would be out at shortstop. But again, he gets to it easily. Probably didn't have to barehand it, but it certainly worked.
Troy Patton for the Orioles coming out after working 3 innings, 2 runs, 2 hits, a walk, and a career high 6 strikeouts in the ball game for him. The back-to-back homers by Johnson and Zobrist in the 8th inning, the 2 hits. Here is Sean Rodriguez. This is his first at bat. He came in as a defensive replacement. Now Rodriguez gets a chance at the plate, hitting .230, 2 doubles, Couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. And O'Day's in with a strike to him on 2.
Yeah, he's a guy, and again, because of injuries, he'd play in third base, came in, at least he started on Friday night at third, but he would probably be playing second base. And of course, Longoria, your best player, your Gold Glove third baseman with a hamstring problem, out for whenever. Nobody really seems to know.
No, they said 6 to 8 weeks, and talking to some of the people around the ball club there in their first game, they kind of just shook their heads on that one.
Yeah, Joe Madden said there is no timetable. And again, it's a tear, and that's one of the bigger muscles in your body. Really difficult to get all those fibers back in where they don't re-injure themselves when you do what you have to do playing baseball.
0-2 delivery, and he got him 2 down.
Well, again, very deceptive windup. Bends at the waist, drops down, ball rises. See, just trying to stay on top of it. Hard to do that on a ball above the leathers.
2 down in the top of the 9th inning. Will Rhymes, an unexpected good day, only in the sense that he came in with an 0 for 12, extended it to 0 for 13, then picked up an RBI single in the 3rd, a single in the 5th, 2 for 4 game.
Stolen base.
And he'll take it outside for a ball. Rhymes called up when Longoria went on the disabled list on May 1. And playing around in the infield, second base in the ball game today. Here's the 1-0 delivery by O'Day. A chopper to short. Hardy in a big hop. Good job by O'Day. The Orioles get a chance, bottom of the 9th inning. Due up, Flaherty, Avery, Hardy. 2-run differential.
Of the 9th coming up, and the way this game has gone with the Orioles clawing back in, down by 2, you never know.
You know, James Shields, their best pitcher, looking for his 6th win of the season. The Orioles were down 7-1, knocked him out of the ballgame, came within 1 run in the 7th inning, and they still have a chance in the 9th.
So the Birds looking for 2 to tie. 3 would win it and complete the sweep. Let's see how it turns out. Back upstairs we go to Gary and Jim.
All right, Jim and Rick, thanks very much. And for the Orioles, bottom of the 9th inning comeback. That's what they're looking for. Jim Presley looking up and down the bench, checking between innings in his book there and who does what against whom, because you've got the 2 youngsters as far as major league experience is concerned, Flaherty and Avery in the 9 and 1 hole, both due up here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, so Fernando Rodney, look at the back numbers. Those are the ones that matter. 9 for 9. Kind of the closer of the year. You know, last year it was Farnsworth. The year before it was Soriano. You go back to 2009 with the Tigers. He was 37 out of 38. Did not pitch well with the Angels. So throws in the mid-90s and has a changeup that looks like it hits wind shear. Something got in its way on the way to home plate. And I read an article where they said, well, what did you change? He said, I didn't change anything. They just let me pitch. We'll see if he's got it. He has it again. 9 for 9.
Ryan Flaherty getting set to come to the plate, batting in the 9 spot. The Orioles' chance at a sweep on the line here, and their 2-game lead against Tampa Bay could be reduced by a game if they cannot come back. Flaherty's had an 0 for 3, 2 ground ball outs, and reached on an error. The Orioles have benefited from that error with 2 unearned runs. Shields 5-1, pitcher of record for Tampa Bay. Jake Arrieta, who lasted only 3 2/3 innings, 7 runs, 10 hits. The pitcher of record for the Orioles.
Well, they'd love to get Jake off the hook, because if they do that, that means they either have to tie it or win it.
Here's Flaherty. He'll take the pitch for a strike from Rodney.
He's looking for 3 outs, and the Orioles are looking for at least 1 base runner at the beginning. Boy, that changes everything.
Get somebody on and get to the Hardy Markakis part of the order. And they're going to base hit. Flaherty delivers a single in the 9th inning.
Well, we saw with Jake Arrieta early on. He had a really good fastball, but he left it in the middle of the plate, and that's exactly what Rodney does to Ryan Flaherty. So James Shields, changing speeds, change-ups, hooks for the youngsters, and then all of a sudden a little bit different.
So Avery in his major league debut, an 0 for 4 in the ballgame. Wilson Betemit is going to pinch hit for him. Betemit will come out for the Orioles. There are the numbers on the season. Betemit has not had an at-bat as a pinch hitter. Fernando Rodney now will have to work out of the stretch.
And they have a little bit of a history, 1 for 6. But you have a veteran hitter with home run power.
Runner at first, nobody out. Betemit takes it down low for a ball. Betemit has had a hot bat with a long ball of late, 7th inning or later, 4 home runs for him, and a .286 batting average. The Orioles have come back and won 2 ball games this year where they have trailed after 8. They are down here 9-7 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Betemit with a cut on a good pitch that dropped off the table. 1-1.
Well, there you go. The saves, Jim Johnson with 11, Chris Perez of the Indians, Rodney right behind him, Brandon Lee with Seattle. And that was the changeup. It's about a 15-mile-per-hour difference.
He's thrown it 44 times coming into the ball game, 32 for strikes, that changeup. Then comes back with a heater, and it's fouled back into the screen. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Updating you on the AT&T Player of the Game voting. You still have time to text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. Results on the O's Extra postgame show. Wilson Betemit, nobody out. Flaherty taking the very safe lead over there. And Betemit, a swing and a miss, 1 down.
Yeah, it's so difficult once he gets to 2 strikes. Until then, you can look fastball. But what a great changeup. Talk about a quick arm, trying to sell it. Boy, does he ever do a good job of that. You'd think he's thrown at 100 miles per hour, but it only comes in at 80. And the other part of the equation, it's moving all over the place. Great late life.
Hardy's had a big day. Single, double, walk, hit into a fielder's choice. He scored 2 runs. Hardy with an 0 for 2 off Rodney. Flaherty off first. And that is there for a strike. Orioles battling in the bottom of the 9th. 16 runs on 23 hits combined in this game. They've combined to leave 11 on base.
I don't think he would have envisioned that, considering Shields 5-1 and Arrieta with his capabilities.
0-1 the count. Hardy waiting. Hardy, the ground ball. That's going to be stopped. Throw to second, and they get the out. What a play by Sean Rodriguez. Maybe a game saver. We may never know. But that is a big defensive play, and that's why he was put in at third.
Yeah, he's playing off the line. It looks like this ball's going to get by him. What a terrific play. I mean, again, what about Friday? What about last night? The 5 errors. Terrific defensive play. I mean, this is what the Rays did last year on their way to 91 wins. Make the defensive plays that matter.
So now the Orioles down to 1 out to work with. Nick Markakis with a runner at first base. Markakis against Rodney has had a home run. The only hit he's had off him, 1 for 8.
You know, it's funny, you look at Sean Rodriguez, a lot of third basemen, 1 step and a dive. That was about 3 steps and a dive.
That's a big play.
Oh, huge play.
Markakis Couple of doubles, 3 RBIs. And the pitch is inside for a ball. He's 2 for 4 in the game.
97.
Oriole fans on their feet here in the bottom of the 9th inning, hoping. Leadoff single by Flaherty, replaced by Hardy at first. 1-0. Hardy will go. There'll be no play made on him.
Yeah, they're already playing way behind him, and Pena's pretty much taking the line away. Don't want anything down the line. Even though they do give Nick the third base line. And then you just figure out what percentage baseball, where does he hit most of his balls?
Here's the 2-0 delivery, and the count goes to 3-0. Jones waiting on deck.
That was a nice little take.
Fernando Rodney. 11 pitches thrown here in the bottom of the 9th inning so far. 1 out away from closing the W out. The Orioles 2 runs away from getting it tied with a potential tying run at the plate. Hardy off second.
Yeah, I don't imagine he's swinging 3-0 because you figure he'll get as good a pitch.
And he walked him.
Yeah, throw it.
So 4 straight will bring Adam Jones to the plate.
Well, that'll create some drama. Again, 5 at bats against Rodney, 1 hit. And their outfield even moves with the tying run now at first, deeper. I mean, B.J. Upton, you can barely see him.
Adam Jones has the entire outfield to hit the ball in. With these outfielders backed up within about 3 steps of the wall, all of them. Jones today's had an 0 for 4. 2 down, 2 on. 9th inning, Orioles down by 2. Jones a chopper. Long way to come. Rodriguez bare hands it, and the throw gets away. 1 run will score. Hardy, they're going to wave Marquez home. Now he stops. He came around. He was being waved home, but he looked, saw where the ball was, and went back. Well, and it's a 1-run game again.
And you can also see DeMarlo Hale does a great job because he's almost about 25 feet from home plate. So he wants Nick to come like he can maybe have a chance. I mean, tough play. I mean, look at the play Sean Rodriguez makes. Sliding. Pena can't get it. So here comes the 8th run. And you can see he's waving him in. Right now he puts the brake on. If he's not down that far, you run right by him. And he gets thrown out at home plate. So aggressive base running. And they do the right thing.
Hickey out to the mound. The Orioles now have the potential winning run at second base.
Well, who do you want to pitch to? I mean, you got to pitch to Wieters, who's red hot, or Johnson to hit the home run off of Peralta. One thing about Matt Wieters, the only number that's not good for him this year is the runner in scoring position numbers. Came into this game 2 for 21. For him, exceptionally low.
Adam Jones went down to second base. Second and third, 2 down. Marquez, the potential tying run. Wieters, a double, a homer. 2 for 4. First base is open. Wieters on a check swing, went around, says the home plate umpire, Jerry Davis.
99 miles per hour.
Jones credited with a single. And an error charged on the throw by Rodriguez, allowing the run to score and the runner to move up. 0-1 down to third. Rodriguez again. He's on his knees, gets up, guns it, and gets the out by 1 hop. And Tampa Bay will avoid the sweep by just that much, as the Orioles put a run up here in the 9th inning, doing it on a couple of hits and an error, and will leave 2 on base. And Tampa Bay wins it. What a game. The final 9-8 Rays. Boy, was that some ball game. And the Orioles take 2 out of 3. And the Yankees come to town for a 2-game set starting tomorrow. Jason Hamill on the mound against Ivan Nova. Our coverage begins at 6:30 on Masino's Extra, presented by Cheap, followed by our game coverage at 7. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Final here, the Rays 9, Orioles 8. This has been a Masson presentation. Jim and Rick are next. Adieu.